As we welcome you back here to Hladky Memorial Stadium in Gillette, Wyoming. It's day 5, game 15, the championship game. As we get ready to make history, as for the first time, the state of Wyoming is going to send a team to the American Legion World Series as Cheyenne gets ready to take on the Charlotte Roughriders. I'm Dan Hubbard. Welcome in, everybody, along with Aaron Pulling and our producer, engineer, Elon Olaf. We're ready to make history. The folks here at the ballpark are ready to make history. Just about a standing room only crowd as we'll come back and we'll tell you about this game as we'll get to our Big Country Properties pregame shows presented by Bobby Dalzell. We'll do that as we continue. This is the AA Northwest Baseball Championship game brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette. And you're catching the game here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzell, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Get back to feeling your best with Evanston Regional Hospital Physical Therapy. If you find yourself struggling with pain or limited mobility in your everyday life, your recovery starts here. With a personalized treatment plan just for you, our experienced physical therapists will help you every step of the way to reach your goals and get back to doing what you love. Call us today to schedule an appointment. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
The perfect mix of different ingredients can create the most delicious creation. Successful people have the ability to bring many different individuals together who work, collaborate, show kindness, use problem-solving skills, and include each individual's talents and gifts to create new inventions, compose beautiful music, and find ways to make the world a better place. At Uintah County School District No. 1, we work together every day to promote student success. Uintah County School District No. 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Fresh and flavorful ingredients are what makes the best restaurants great. At El Paso All-American and Mexican Restaurant, each entree is prepared with only the freshest and tastiest ingredients. The menu includes everything from tacos to steak, fresh fruit waffles to omelets, and mouth-watering burgers to sandwiches. Come in and enjoy a meal today at the new El Paso All-American and Mexican Restaurant inside the log cabin on Bear River Drive.
And welcome back here to the pregame show, the Big Country Properties pregame show presented by Bobby Dalzell. We make it happen as Aaron Poling joins me here on the broadcast. It's time for the scene set today, brought to you by El Paso All-American and Mexican Restaurant. Well, it all comes down to one game, Aaron, as things have really fallen out the way people expected, as it's Cheyenne against Gillette. One game, winner take all.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to make history today. It's just what team is going to make that history. It's going to be a huge game. The crowd, if you can hear them over our crowd mic, it is rocking out there. Standing room only, at about the only place that you can probably find room is in the batting cages down there. As, man, there's a lot of people from both sides, as this is going to be a lot of fun.
Now, the folks from Cheyenne, they've already seen their team win a game in walk-off fashion as they win 4-3, scoring a run at the bottom of the 7th inning to get to this game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to try to carry the momentum from that first game into this game. For Gillette, they're going to have to bounce back after losing to these same Sixers last night. But, I mean, it was a very weird baseball game. You almost have to erase it from your mind because you have to think that you're not going to walk in 8 runs in that first inning.
No, exactly. As Cheyenne scored 8 runs on only 2 hits and a handful of walks and hit batters in the first inning last night. But after the 3rd inning, they pretty much kept them off the scoreboard and really kept the game close, and they tried to get back into it, did Gillette.
Absolutely. They ended up making it a 4-run game. They were down 10-0. Heck of a fight back. It's more of a statement for this game because it did matter if they won that game. But after falling behind 10-0, showing Cheyenne that you're going to continue to fight, you're going to continue to battle, as Bevan Evenson had one of the best performances, I think, of his young career to hold the 60 team off the board for 4 innings.
Yep. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Still to come is our scene set. We got the starting lineups and the first pitch all coming up here in the next couple of minutes. This is the AA Northwest Championship game brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Napa know-how isn't just for guys like this. Power tools. Every driver deserves quality parts. Practical and cool. So you can do it yourself with Napa Auto Parts or get it done for you at a Napa Auto Care Center. Which means Napa know-how is for you, karaoke car lady. And never popped a hood guy.
I can pop a hood.
You too, Mr. Park a mile away. Oh yeah. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how. Covalos, your one-stop farm and auto shop.
Helping young people grow into productive adults is like putting a puzzle together. Each aspect of life is equal to one puzzle piece. Restful sleep, a healthy breakfast, a positive experience at home before school sets the tone for the whole day. Positive student interaction with teachers, district staff, coaches, and peers all add to the puzzle. At Uinta County School District Number 6, we work hard to make each puzzle piece meaningful and powerful for every student. By working together, we can help every student grow into a masterpiece. It's a great day to be an Eagle.
Hey there, I'm Jake Major, your local Medicare and insurance benefits advisor for the Bullock Agency of Wyoming. With over 25 years of experience protecting families in rural America, we understand the importance of having affordable insurance coverage. Whether you're searching for extra coverage or looking to understand and switch your Medicare options, I can help you find a range of top-rated insurance companies and tailor-made packages based on your needs. Call me, Jake Major, today at 307-209-4685 and let's discuss your insurance options. We're the Bullock Agency of Wyoming when benefits matter.
Welcome back. We're waiting the first pitch at Gillette versus Cheyenne in the championship game here in the Northwest region. Time to look at the keys to today's game. Aaron Poling, what do you think? What does the winner have to come away with today?
The winner is going to have the best start, as we're going to color guard out, but the winner's going to have to get off to the hottest start, best start. It's going to come down to starting pitching again. We saw last game, Bradley Fieser fell behind early, but he's righted the ship, had a better start than the other starting pitcher, Ross Frank, and that is why they were able to come away with the victory in that game.
As the color guard continues to march its way about and onto the field, we're about to have the national anthem. Then we'll have the starting lineups in the first pitch for today's game. That's coming up in just a matter of moments as the color guard has made its way out to pitcher's mound area as everyone's standing here in the ballpark. As now our anthem singer and our tournament director make their way out toward the mound area as well.
The Players Code of Conduct.
As first we'll have the Players Code of Conduct that we talked about earlier before the first game.
One last key for Gillette.
Yes.
We talked about earlier. Forget that game last night. If you start thinking about last night's game, you're already putting yourself in a hole, as that was a weird game, both for Gillette and Cheyenne after just having 8 runs coming in the first inning. They outscored them 5-2 or 6-2 the rest of the way.
Right. So if you're sitting around in the ballpark, the happiest guy in the ballpark right now is Bradley Fieser. He was winning pitcher for the first game. He knows he can sit back, relax, and not have to stress too much about this game. They're going to go out and they're going to play, and hopefully his team will get him a chance to win and move to the World Series.
Yeah, he did his job. He was the only arm they used. They had Seeley up for most of that game, but instead of having to bring Seeley in, Seeley's going to start this game. So Fieser coming back and finishing that game. Don't underestimate how huge that is for Cheyenne.
And now, from here at the Hladky Memorial Stadium in Gillette, Wyoming, here is our national anthem.
twilights last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the rampart we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem from here in Gillette, as the color guard will now make its way off the field, so the crowd remains standing as the color guard will turn and head off.
Not a lot of room in this arena or this ballpark.
No, there's really not. Just about every seat is filled. Every place there's a small little opening where you might be able to find a crack or a crevice to be able to look through. There's several bodies there, and they're fighting for every inch of space that they could possibly get. Now, we mentioned right off the top of the broadcast that we'll make history here today because no team from Wyoming has ever gone to the American Legion World Series. They are one of 3 teams that have never made it to the World Series, along with Wyoming, Alaska, and Vermont have never made it to the World Series. Now, we know that Alaska's already been eliminated here in Gillette, and Vermont didn't make it to their state playoffs this year, or their regional playoffs this year. So Wyoming will be the only one to scratch their name off that list, as we know for sure that they will be going. And they will play, the winner of this game will play on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. at the World Series site in Shelby, North Carolina. As our tournament director will throw out the first pitch. This is the final of 3 years that the folks here in Gillette will have hosted the regional championship, as next year it'll be played in Billings, Montana. As for the winner of this game, they are playing the West Championship now today. The Vegas and Tucson are playing, and the winner of that game will play League City, Texas, to see who will represent the West region, and that's who the Northwest region will play on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. back in Shelby, North Carolina. So it's a busy day around American Legion baseball, not just here, but all over the country. As we know that Gillette is the visiting team, Cheyenne will be the home team, as Cheyenne won the coin toss. As we get ready for the starting lineups, and Aaron Poling has those. Brought to you by Varsity Inc. We're on your team.
For the visiting Gillette Roughriders, they will serve as the visiting team today. Seth Peterson, the shortstop, will lead off. Corey Schilling plays third, bats second. Mason Drew will play center field, batting third. Riley Schilling at first base will do the cleanup duty. Dominic Hecker plays second base, bats fifth. Kason Loftus will play right field. Brady Retchards will catch, and bat seventh. Hogan Tysted, the DH, and he'll bat eighth, as Keaton Killian will bat ninth and play left field. Now for the Cheyenne Sixers, Mason Tafoya will bat third will play third, lead off. Shortstop, Coulter McAnally will bat second. The left fielder, Julian Romero, will bat third. Corey Williams will clean up and play right field. Hayden Swain at first base bats fifth. Caden Anderson behind the plate, batting 6th. Landon McAnally will be the DH, batting 7th. Nolan Horton will be the center fielder, batting 8th. And Cade Coates will play second base and bat 9th in this regional championship game.
So for both teams, they come into this game here tonight with a 3-1 record. Cheyenne having beaten Rocky Mountain in the game previous to this one, as by his final score of 4-3 on a walk-off triple in the bottom of the 7th inning to push across the winning run. So time to play baseball. Just after the 3 o'clock posted start time, as Seth Peterson walks to the plate. And as we mentioned earlier today, weather not a problem. Partly cloudy, no wind. Old Glory hanging straight down on the pole at straightaway center field. And as we get ready for first pitch, it is 72 degrees. And the first pitch to Seth Peterson is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Peterson, who had 2 hits and 4 at-bats last night in the game against Cheyenne. Here's the starting pitcher, is Peyton Seeley, as that pitch is outside, ball 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson hitting .400 overall on the tournament, 6 hits in 15 at-bats, as the fastball is up high, and it's 2-1.
I look for Peterson to set the tone for this Gillette team. Try to have a real good at-bat right here off of Seeley.
As the next pitch is a ground ball towards short. That's right where McAnally hangs out and straightens and throws him out.
That's got to be a big relief here for the Sixers. They've already played 1 game, so you got to imagine the nerves are a little bit less, as they've already played a bit, as that first out is oh so important, especially in a championship game like this. It allows you to take a deep breath and just remember it's just another baseball game.
So here's Corey Schilling, the third baseman, who now comes up. Schilling, who has 4 hits in 14 at-bats, hitting .286, takes the first pitch outside, ball 1 ball and no strikes. Schilling, who was 0 for 3 last night in the game, as that ball's rolled foul, and it's a ball and a strike. Wherever you're joining us from here on this Championship Sunday, welcome to all here to a bright, sunny day here in Gillette, Wyoming, as we're certainly glad to have you along in the final game, the championship game of what has been a great tournament, as that pitch is a breaking ball, misses down and in, ball 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's been an incredible week here at Hladky Stadium here in Gillette, as it's coming to an end, but what a week it has been. As the next pitch misses out, down low again to Schilling, and it's now 3-1. It's good at bat going for Schilling, not leaving the zone, taking what's given to him. Peyton Seeley on the mound as the pitch is up high, ball 4. That is Schilling's second walk of the tournament, as he's now aboard at first. Seeley, who made 2 appearances in relief, this is his first start of the tournament. One of those appearances was last night when he worked the final 2 innings. Gave up a run that was unearned on 1 hit over his 2 innings of work. So here is Mason Drube. Drube, his 7 hits in the tournament lead the team. And last night against Cheyenne, he was 2 for 2 and drove in a couple of runs. His 7 hits that lead the team, he also has the highest batting average on the team at .438 at the start of play today. Seeley ready, holding, the right-hander who throws hard, comes home. That pitch hit to center. Horton's got to turn and go back, just short of the track. He'll have a play and make the catch. That ball onto the track right in front of the Corey Drew Memorial banner hanging out on the fence, as that ball was absolutely crushed to center field. So Schilling has to hustle back. And now here is Riley Schilling. Let me make a correction. The Kirby Drew Memorial banner hanging out there. So here's Schilling with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Schilling playing first base today for Gillette, as he takes the first pitch over for a strike. Drew the caller last night in the game against Cheyenne. He was 0 for 3. Schilling, with just 2 hits and 11 at-bats in the tournament, comes in hitting a .182. As ready in the pitch, there goes the runner. Bounces up there. Good pitch selection by Corey Schilling on a pitch to run on.
as it'll be a stolen base as he was running on the pitch. And he pulls in at second base. So a runner in scoring position here in the top of the first inning for Gillette as they try to turn the tables on Cheyenne, who opened up a big lead last night in the top of the first inning. The next pitch, breaking ball, misses well outside again. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes.
You mentioned in Game 1 a batter getting off the schneid, as Riley Schilling could be a candidate for that here in Game 2.
Seeley ready again, comes on with the next pitch. That ball driven to right field. It's going to be in for a hit. They're going to send the runner. Williams with the throw home. It's cut off, and he scores.
And as we mentioned, for Riley Schilling, hasn't had a great tournament so far, but I'm sure he is relieved after that base hit to drive in the first run of this championship game.
So Gillette scores a run in the top of the first inning. It's 1-0. And for Schilling, he gets off the schneid after drawing the caller last night. And Schilling, with that RBI, picks up his third of the tournament and gives his team a lead. So here is Dominic Hacker, the second baseman. Hacker hits a slow roller past the mound. Tafoya is going to cut that off from behind the mound. They'll straighten and throw out Hacker to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit. There was a walk and 1 man left. We're done with a half inning as the Gillette Roughriders get on the board. First, they lead 1-0 with the Cheyenne Post Sixers coming to bat. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by the Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
At Y-Hi, "We're with you" is more than just 3 simple words. It encompasses the principles we live by to serve our members and local communities. So if you're looking to keep your banking relationships local with a partner who will always be there for you, look to us. We're Y-Hi. We're Wyoming. We're with you. Visit yhi.org to learn how you can be a part of something bigger today.
Well, we go to the bottom of the first inning as Gillette gets on the board first, and they lead 1-0. And now we go to the bottom of the first, and they'll give the ball to Grayson Sargent to start here for the Roughriders. For Sargent, he makes his second appearance in the tournament. He's 1-0. He worked 3 innings earlier in the tournament, gave up 2 hits, no runs, walked 1, and struck out 5. So he's ready to push off against what is a very powerful offensive team in the Cheyenne Post Sixers. They scored 4 runs in the game earlier today, knocking off Rocky Mountain, and you just had that feeling. They came up to the bottom of the 7th inning in a tie game. You knew it wasn't going any farther than that.
Yeah, especially the top of that order due up, and they did a great job with Tafoya at bat getting on base.
So here's Mason Tafoya. Tafoya was 3 for 4 in the first game today, as he ended up tripling off the wall in right center field. It ended up being the difference in the game as he drove the winning run home, and the pitch is hit foul, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, if you remember, we talked about Tafoya kind of struggling. Coming into today's contest, he was batting under 200. Now he's all the way up to 333.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball stays high, and it's 1-2. Tafoya, with the RBI that he had in the first game that drove home the winning run, believe it or not, his first RBI of the tournament. The 1-2. Misses outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tafoya also, with that hit, was his first extra base hit, but it was his 5th hit overall. He's hitting .333 with 5 for 15 on the tournament as the pitch is swung on and missed.
Good high fastball there. Gets the chase out of the zone as that pitch was at about the shoulder level for out number 1.
Now, they tell me that the attendance here should be about even, but certainly with Tavoya striking out on that pitch, it's certainly you'd think that the Gillette fans are much more boisterous here early on than the Cheyenne fans are. As the pitch here to Colter McAnally is up high, ball 1.
It's almost going to be a game within the game, the crowd, as it's going to be loud. I think it's going to be loud both ways once the Sixers have something to cheer for.
Sargent comes home. The next pitch misses down low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. McAnally 1 for 4, kind of struggled a bit in the first game. Seemed like things came so much easier last night, both at the plate and in the field for McAnally than they did earlier today. As that pitch misses down low, and he jumps ahead, 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, for being honest, for this entire post-6 offense, it came pretty easy last night.
McAnally 0 for 4 in the first game at the plate as he walks on 4 pitches here.
And that's what got Gillette in trouble last night were the walks. I mean, it's a 1-out walk, but Gillette knows this. This is how they scored their run in the top of the inning, a walk. In American Legion baseball, it always seems that walk becomes a big issue for that defensive team.
Here's Julian Romero comes up for his first time up, who now has 5 extra base hits in the tournament. You mentioned the free bases issued to Cheyenne last night in the game as the first pitch hit foul off the third base side, and it's 0-1. In the game last night, there was 14 free men put on base for Cheyenne between the walks and the hit batters issued by the Gillette pitching staff, and you can't give that many extra opportunities.
No, especially to an offense like this that they're explosive, and if you just start giving them things, they're very inept at taking them too.
Next pitch hit on the ground. That's headed to right field, and it's in for right field. As Romero with a hit, and McAnally's going to keep on going to third. The throw gets cut off, and back to the bag is Romero. He's got another hit.
Great read there by McAnally on the ground ball through the hole between the first and the second baseman. He had his head down. He was thinking 3 all the way. Hits the bag. Does a good job going on the inside of the bag and gets himself to third base with less than 1 out.
So here's the number 4 hitter, Corey Williams, who's tied for the team lead with 6 hits. Although he was hitless in the first game today, he was 0 for 3. He started today with an average up over 400 and comes into the game here now with the average down to 375, but it's still good for the team lead. And the first pitch hit foul off the third base side, and it's 0-1. People lining the fences all the way down to the bullpen area in the left field corner. We've been able to look cleanly all the way down into the Cheyenne bullpen area, but there's people lining the fence line all the way down. 0-1 count as Williams hits the first pitch foul. Runners at the corners and 1 out. As the pitch again, line foul, this time down along the left field side, and it's 0-2.
Williams last night had a 2 RBI double in that first inning. That kind of really started the avalanche for this post-6 offense.
Runners at the corners and 1 out. Gillette with a run in the top of the first inning. They lead 1-0. The 0-2. Off speed, hit foul. Off the glove of the catcher, then off of Williams' back foot.
The umpire's going to give Williams a couple seconds to shake that off, as it's never fun when you hit a foul ball off your foot.
So as we mentioned, no team from Wyoming has ever qualified for the American Legion World Series, but they will today. Alaska and Vermont both already out of their respective regional tournaments as that pitch swung on and missed, and there's 2 outs.
That's a big strikeout in the inning as we go to the My Local Rodeo replay as we get a fastball above the zone that Williams swings through.
So here's Hayden Swain. Swain had 1 hit in the first game today against Rocky Mountain. He was 1 for 3. And for Swain, coming up looking to pick up that two out RBI, of which he has 2 runs batted into the tournament. Swain, 3 for 13 overall, hitting .231. As that pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, it almost seems that every single time Swain steps in the batter's box, he's getting that breaking ball first pitch, and more often than not, it's for a strike on the outside corner at the knees.
A lot of guys you can pretty much predict they're going to be a fastball hitter or a curveball hitter, and they've pretty much can tell by they've seen each other quite a bit that Swain necessarily will not swing at a first pitch curveball, and if you can drop it on the outside edge, you can pick up a quick strike and get ahead in the account.
Yeah, he crushed first pitch fastballs in that AA state tournament.
For next pitch to Sargent, hit foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Of course, Hayden Swain, the AA state tournament MVP from that week, as he hit .500 with a pair of home runs.
We mentioned Feeser just sitting and watching the game. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be here. He retired the final 10 men that he faced in the game and allowed his teammates to get that run in the bottom of the 7th inning to qualify for this championship game. Next pitch, fastball, just high. As everybody in the stands wanted a strike, but the only guy that matters, the man standing behind the plate with the blue shirt on, said, that pitch is high. So it's 1-2.
Yeah, I tend to agree with the umpires. That ball looked like it crossed at about the shoulders. Of course, strike zone's a little lower than the chest.
Sargent out of the stretch, the 1-2. That's going to be lined into left field, base hit. That's going to get 1 run home, and that'll tie the game at 1.
Yeah, it's a great piece of hitting there from Swain. He fell behind early in the count, got a pitch he could handle there, didn't do too much, and just drives that ball into left field to tie the ball game.
So McAnulty comes in to tie the game. Romero with the play right in front of him stops at second base. And now here is Caden Anderson. Anderson, one of those guys you'd love to have up there with men on base, as he is tied for the team lead in RBIs here in the tournament. He's got 5 to his credit. He had 1 hit in the game earlier today against Rocky Mountain and takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Romero at second, Swain over at first. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning, and a 1-1 tie. Anderson standing and waiting. Sargent looks in, gets the signs, now looks back at second base. Romero dancing around, the pitch is down low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Anderson's worked the count in his favor, has a lot of leverage here. He has 2 opportunities right now to pick out a pitch that he really likes if he's going to get a fastball in the zone to try to drive in that run at second base.
So Sargent really slowing things down here with 2 outs and 2 on. Now sets at the belt, looks back a couple of times at second base, and the next pitch hit foul, and it's 2-1.
It's a pretty good 2-0 pitch there from Sargent, as that was about belt high on the inner third, as the batter Anderson was unable to get to it. He kind of sawed him off there.
In the game last night, Gillette, I should say, their pitchers walked 7 and they hit 7. So trying to avoid that bugaboo today as the pitch is down low at home plate, and it's now 3 balls and a strike.
So the runner at second, Romero, is kind of moving his hands around a little bit. I think he's picked up on what the signs are from behind home plate, as that was a real good breaking ball that Anderson was able to lay off of.
As I don't think he's tipping off pitch selection, but rather than location. As he gets out to his lead, last time he had his hands together in the middle of his abdomen. As he claps a couple of times, let's keep an eye on him, see what he does this time as they deal out the cards. Now he has the sign that he wants. He doesn't show anything this time. That ball's lined into left center. That's going to be in for a hit. Here comes Romero. Williams goes as far as third. He'll stay there. And Cheyenne has the lead on the RBI single by Caden Anderson. It's 2-1.
Yeah, it was a real good piece of hitting there from Anderson. as he's able to poke that ball over the second baseman's head. Stayed within himself, got a pitch he can handle. It's exactly what you're supposed to do right there. Drives in another run, passes the baton on to another Cheyenne Sixers player as they go ahead.
So that'll bring up Landon McAnally. Landon went hitless in the game earlier today. He was 0 for 3. As now Richards, the catcher, is going to step out in front of home plate and relay some defensive signals here with 2 outs and runners at the corners. 3 hits in the inning, produce a couple of runs as Cheyenne comes right back and gets on the board. It's 2-0 as the first pitch here to McAnally is swung on and missed.
Yeah, McAnally, he's had a rough tournament. If there's any time for him to come through, now for the Sixers would be the best time for him.
Rough indeed. One hit in 10 at-bats, and he has 1 RBI as he's hitting 100 is a pitch in the dirt. They throw through, and stealing second base is Caden Anderson to move into scoring position.
It looked like a little bit of a delayed steal there as Anderson, I don't think, got off right with the pitch. Waited. And they're actually going to call that a wild pitch.
They'll call it a wild pitch. Official score saying that he didn't break until the pitch had already reached home plate and was in the dirt. So it would be a wild pitch. Either way, it'll put runners at second and third with 2 outs here in the inning. As now Richards goes out to talk to his pitcher, Grayson Sargent.
Well, at that point, then it's just a great read by Anderson, stealing that extra base. Now it's going to force the infield to have to throw that ball across if they make that play on the left side of the infield.
1 ball and 1 strike on Landon McAnally, the designated hitter. So with the runners at second and third, now you just come after the hitter. And they do. That pitch is over for a strike, and it's 1-2.
That's a real good fastball right at the knees as McAnally takes that pitch. Not a whole lot you can do with that. Great pitcher's pitch there from Sargent.
So he's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sargent rolling the ball around in his pitching hand behind his back, now puts it in the glove and sets at the belt. And the 1-2. Little roller wide of the mound, picked up there, play across on a bounce, and they can't make the play as Schilling couldn't dig it out on the short hop, and another run is in, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, Landon McAnally put it in play, choked up, did his job, put it in play, hustled down the line, and they're going to call that an E6.
So the throw in the dirt, McAnally couldn't dig it out. Error charge to the first baseman, it's 3-1. And now the 8th batter of the inning comes up. It's Nolan Horton with runners at the corners again.
And now you give that Cheyenne Post 6 offense another life.
Horton, a very selective hitter. He was 0 for 1 in the first game, but walked a couple of times. As first pitch, fastball on the corner for a strike. Horton now 4 for 12 in the tournament, hitting .333. And he's driven in 4, but he's up there now with another chance to pick up another one with a guy at third base. Little pop-up into short center field. That's going to be trouble, and it's going to fall. Here's the 4th run of the inning to come home as Anderson goes all the way to third base. I should say that's McAnally goes all the way to third base as Anderson comes in to score.
That seems to be how it works in baseball. You have an opportunity to collect that third out. You commit an error, and then suddenly the next batter doesn't hit it very hard, just happens to hit it right in the correct spot for another RBI.
As we're going to get a visit to the mound to come out and talk to Sargent. As 4 runs home here in the bottom of the first inning for Cheyenne. They haven't hit the balls hard. They just hit them where they ain't.
Yeah, a lot of times it's kind of funny that you hit those hard line drives and the shortstop snags it, but then that time Horton just lofts the ball just far enough that the second baseman can't get it. They used to call that a Texas tee shot, or a Texas League tee shot, Texas Leaguer single. As it's another opportunity with McAnally on the move, on contact, gets himself all the way to third base.
So Nate Perleyberg goes back to the dugout after having talked to Sargent as the 9th batter in the lineup up to hit here, as it is Cade Coates with runners at the corners. They bust hard inside on Coates, and he fouls it away.
That's a real good pitch on the inner third from Sargent, as that last pitch was his 32nd of the inning.
Yeah, he's worked a lot here in the first inning. 4 runs on 4 hits. There was an error behind him and trying to get out of the inning. The 0-1 fastball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a real good job there by Richards to get out of his stance to go get that ball. As that gets by him, there's a lot of room behind the plate here at Hladky Stadium. That could be a pass ball, or excuse me, a wild pitch for a run.
McAnally's at third, Horton over at first. The 1-1 pitch, swung on a miss, and it's 1-2. Coates had 1 hit in the first game, he was 1 for 3, hitting .308 in the tournament. 4 hits and 13 at-bats overall. Tries to step out, now climbs back in, hits a ground ball to short. Peterson charges, makes a better throw this time, and gets the out over at first base. However, Cheyenne bats around in the first inning. They send 9 men to the plate. They score 4 runs on 4 hits. There was an error, and they leave 2. We're done with an inning. It's Cheyenne 4, Gillette 1. This is the AA Northwest Region Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe.
I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family.
I buckle up because it keeps me safe.
Go Pups, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
The perfect mix of different ingredients can create the most delicious creation. Successful people have the ability to bring many different individuals together who work, collaborate, show kindness, use problem-solving skills, and include each individual's talents and gifts to create new inventions, compose beautiful music, and find ways to make the world a better place. At Uintah County School District No. 1, we work together every day to promote student success. Uintah County School District No. 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Kason Loftus leads it off for Gillette as we go here to the top of the second inning, now with his team trailing 4-1. Loftus, Brady Richards, and Hogan Tystad due up here in the second as the first pitch from Peyton Seeley over for a strike.
Yeah, good news for Gillette. It wasn't as bad as last night.
Next pitch over again on the inside half. So he ran it in on Loftus's hands, and it's 0-2. Seeley not a big kid, but I tell you what, he raised back and he gets 100% out of that frame of his as he brings it up there in a hurry. Breaking ball misses outside, and it's to 1-2.
Yeah, he's really mechanically sound out there on the mound, as he's one of those kids that if you want to show kids at home how to pitch and get every single ounce out of your body, Peyton Seeley's the kid.
Next pitch home from Seeley just misses off the plate. And it's 2-2. Seeley just 5'8", 146 pounds. As that pitch is hit foul. And it stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Does a real good job pushing off, getting down the mound. And that is why he's able to throw with the velocity that he can.
2-2 to the leadoff man here in the inning. Kason Loftus is again the pitch hit foul.
That's a good battle here from Loftus. As you want to come out, you want to try to grind Seeley down a little bit after giving up 4 in that inning. If you can scratch across 1, try to regain a little bit of that momentum that you lost in the bottom half of the first.
Loftus was the starting and losing pitcher last night. Lasted just 2/3 of an inning. Then comes back and bangs one into center field for a base hit.
Just a great piece of hitting there. 2-2, staying within himself. Gets something over the middle of the plate and just hits it right back where it came from. As we have that on the My Local Rodeo replay. As you see that ball right back up the middle. A perfect swing there from Loftus.
If you're Loftus, you'd love to do nothing more than pick up your teammates today after what happened to you last night. Although it wasn't all your fault, you still gave up 7 of the 8 runs in the first inning. So here's Richards as they go to first base and Loftus back to the bag. Richards, the catcher, hitless in the game last night against Cheyenne. He was 0 for 3.
I'm sure Loftus has had a long night last night. I'm sure he's relieved to get that base hit right there.
Absolutely. Off to a pretty good lead, too. He's got the front foot out to the cutout of the grass as that pitch is up high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Not only last night, he also came into this game batting 125. He's a much better hitter than that, but it's been a tough tournament for him so far.
Richards, on the other hand, is 4 for 12 with a pair of doubles, hitting .333. As that pitch is outside, just off the corner, and it's now 2-0. And timeout. Now we got the opposing manager now headed out to talk to his pitcher, as going out to talk to Seeley is the skipper for Cheyenne, Ty Lane.
Yeah, so we got action down in the Cheyenne bullpen as number 4, Braden Pearson, is starting to get loose.
Yeah, you kind of thought this was going to be kind of a bullpen game for Cheyenne. If they got down, they used their big man in the first game just to get here. Now they have to go with what's left.
Yeah, we want to send a quick thank you to Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette, Wyoming for allowing us to be a part of this 2023 AA Northwest Regional Tournament. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you all 15 games of this incredible tournament.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody out. Here in the top of the second, Loftus over at first, having singled up the middle. And the next pitch home is banged right up the middle again. Single to center field. Horton gets it back in. Stopping at second base is Loftus. 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, as we go to that on the My Local Rodeo replay, Richards, 2-0 count, gets a pitch over the middle of the plate, right back up the middle, staying within himself, and drives that ball into center field.
Here's Hogan Tystad, the designated hitter.
And not before Ty Lane goes out, and I think he's going to make a pitching change.
Yeah, that's that second visit. He's got to make a change right here. So for Seeley, we weren't sure how long he was going to last. Well, he goes an inning plus, and they chase him with the tying runs out there on at the plate and 2 on the bases. So Seeley will leave. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming in right after this timeout.
Buying or selling is...
I don't know about you, but every time I go to the grocery store, I'm filled with anxiety. Do I have enough money? Meat prices have doubled. How can I ever work on food storage when I can hardly afford food for this week? Wyoming Wild Meats in Lyman is the solution. Weekly specials are posted on Facebook. Beef, pork, chicken for one meal or a mixed order to fill the freezer. You will find quality Gosner cheese and milk products and delicious bread. Because overhead is low, the savings are passed to every customer. Wyoming Wild Meats, offering fresh domestic meats.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important. Scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
It's a great time to check out the digital banking options at Trona Valley Federal Credit Union and skip the trip. Members who enroll in digital banking can make deposits remotely, check bank balances, transfer money between accounts, make loan payments, and use automatic bill pay options. You can even connect Quicken or QuickBooks to your Trona Valley digital banking accounts. Learn how digital banking with Trona Valley Federal Credit Union can make your life simpler. Stop in today. Member NCUA. Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Whether you're looking for strong, high-quality cement for construction, sand and gravel for road base, a cement trough or critter ladder for your livestock, or steel fabrication, including custom towing packages, bumpers, and other vehicle accessories, You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston. New pitcher coming in here for Cheyenne is the right-hander Braden Pearson, making his second appearance of the tournament. He closed out the game on Thursday against Helena. He went an inning and a third and gave up 1 run. It was earned on 1 hit. His only appearance thus far in the tournament, as he will continue to work here to Hogan Tystad. I take it back. Yes, it is. Tystad still at the plate. As that pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Tystad squared to bunt. That shows how important those 2 runners are out there. Try to give 2 cracks at scoring 2 runs in the inning.
Tystad, 2 for 2 last night against Cheyenne. So I can understand why they'd want to have really the kind of the handle with care sign up there with him at the plate. Still looking bunt. He's not showing bunt, but takes a pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-2.
That's a real good tailing fastball in on the hands of Tystad on the inner third. Great pitch there from Pearson.
Tystad, who's driven in 7, that leads the Gillette team with RBIs in the tournament. As the next pitch is low, 1-2.
And it just misses, but the home plate umpire lets everyone know where that ball misses. That's real close.
It looked over, but low. It looked like a good pitch. So a ball and 2 strikes on Tystad. Loftus away from second, Richards away from first. They're not holding either man as the infield plays back. Third baseman plays up at the bag at the third. Ground ball to the right side. That'll get both runners up at least anyway. As Tystad hits a ground ball to the second baseman and grounds out 4-3, but both runners move up 90 feet.
That's a great at-bat there from Hogan Tystad. A real good team at-bat there as he moves both the runners over, gives his team a chance to cut this lead to 1 with a base hit.
So Keaton Killian now will come to the plate. Killian, 2 for 8 in the tournament with 1 RBI. He's also scored a run and had 1 hit last night in the game against Cheyenne, and takes the first pitch fastball outside, ball 1. 1 ball with no strikes. So all the things he did last night, 1 for 3, scored a run, drove it in. That was all last night. He drives one to center field, base hit. Just out of the reach of McAnally. 1 run scores. Here comes Richards to the plate. He will score. Throw back to second, not in time.
As we go to the My Local Rodeo replay, it is loud in here. As we talked about that great team at bat that allows Killian to drive in 2, cut this to a 1-run game. He advances on the throw. Good base running as well.
So the third hit of the inning drives in 2 for Killian as Loftus and Richards both score. Now flip the lineup card and go back up to the top of the order, and Seth Peterson comes up now with the tying run for Gillette, standing at second base. Pearson up on top, looks back at second, and the pitch home. Ground ball to the right side. That'll move the runner up again as the second baseman Coates able to straighten and throw him out. And another productive out by Peterson.
Yeah, I really like that approach there. He didn't quite get all of it, but he does move that over in case the pitcher does uncork one. It allows him to score because of that ground ball. Great team at-bats here in the inning for the Riders.
We talked about it before. There's like 16 more ways to score from third than there is from second. As the folks now start to make noise and pound their feet on the steel stands. And the first pitch to Schilling is outside and high, ball 1. Killian down the line from third. Peterson sets at the belt, looks over at him, and comes home, and the pitch is hit foul down along the right field side.
After Pearson, you're 1 out away from getting out of this inning with the lead, allowing your bats to go back to the plate. As you guys scored 4 in the first.
As we look down the left field line, even the local fire department is here, because they're probably here to make sure that they stay within capacity limits for seating and occupancy, but they're standing down the left field line taking in the ball game as well as the pitch is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's just sometimes that occupancy limit shouldn't matter.
Like right now.
Absolutely.
As the pitch again hit foul by Seeley, and it stays at 1-2.
Are you going to be the guy that tells, a young kid coming into the game that they can't see this game? This is one of the, I'm going to call it the biggest game in Wyoming history.
There's still plenty of room back here behind the third base dugout where people could stand. Absolutely. We're not anywhere near capacity, but certainly all the seats are taken. The 1-2. Fastball misses outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, if we have to, we'll start stuffing them in the batting cage down there.
So they yell for people to start stomping their feet. Certainly rattles all the cameras that we have around the area to bring you to this afternoon's game. And the 2-2 pitch to Seeley is hit up the middle, behind the bag. It's Coates to straighten and throw him out. But for Gillette, they get close as they get 2 of the 3 runs back. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave the tying run standing at third base. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's Cheyenne 4, Gillette 3 in the AA Northwest Region Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today. 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Bottom of the second inning, 4-3. Cheyenne, who put 4 runs up in the first inning, still holding on to the 1-run lead as the Sixers will come back up F2 here in the second inning, and they'll start from the top of the order. Mason Tafoya, Coulter McAnally, and then Jillian Romero will come up again as well.
Yeah, this has been a great start to the game through an inning and a half as runs being scored, offense being put up, as 4-3 already here in the game.
So runs scored in each of the 3 half innings played so far. We'll go to the bottom of the second, where Tafoya to lead it off, who struck out his first time up. And the first pitch is on the inside corner from Sargent for a called strike, and it's 0-1.
Tafoya, of course, having a great day so far as he was 3 for 4 game 1. Did strike out in his first at-bat, looking to bounce back here.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball bounces up there, and it's a ball and a strike.
An interesting dynamic to this game is we have a 6-man umpiring crew out there.
Looking down by the snack bar off the first base side, there's absolutely no way to go back to down there and order any food as that ball hit the center. Drew drops back, and he's able to haul that one in just short of the track. I'm trying to count here as after that out. It looks like they're standing 6 deep in front of the snack bar.
Yeah, this has been an incredible atmosphere so far, and man, there's a lot of people here, and who wouldn't want to come watch this? And I'm just excited that I get to be one of them.
Here's Coulter McAnally, who walked and scored a run in the first inning. As Sargent rocks and comes home, and that pitch is up and in and hits McAnally with the wild pitch.
Yeah, it's the second time McAnally's been hit in the tournament.
So that'll bring up the left fielder, Jillian Romero.
It's much as you don't want to pitch to McAnally. Romero right now is on fire. McAnally, of course, is a great player himself, but Romero is just swinging the bat so well right now.
Romero's the guy that tripled off the wall in right field to win the first game as the pitch is outside, ball 1. That extra base hit that he had was his first triple, but his fifth extra base hit of the tournament, which leads the team.
Yeah, sprinkling a single his first time up, too.
The 1-0 on the corner, and it's 1-1. Outfield deep, Loftus, the right fielder, playing deep as well. Killian, the left fielder, playing off the line a little bit, expecting Romero to pull the ball as the next pitch hit foul off the third base side, and it's now 1-2.
That's a real good fastball around the top of the zone. That's a real hard pitch to get to as Romero just fouls that one off.
That triple, that game-winning triple that Romero had, his only hit of the first game when he was 1 for 4. The 1-2. Hit foul back into the screen, and it stays at 1-2 strikes. You know, whoever wins this game, they have quite the schedule to keep. They have to get down to Denver. They have an 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. flight on Tuesday back to North Carolina. As the pitch to Romero, hit in the air, in the infield. It'll be the shortstop, Peterson, right on the edge of the grass to make the catch.
Yeah, just got underneath that one a little bit and popped it up, trying to go the opposite way. It's a good idea, just missed it. It's a good pitch there from Sargent, top of the zone.
So here's Corey Williams, who struck out in the first inning, one of 2 strikeouts that Grayson Sargent has in the game so far. He's walked 1 and hit 1 as well. So he'll work on the left-handed hitting right fielder, Corey Williams. And the first pitch down low. McAnally with a big lead over there at first base.
Yeah, real good athlete over there. Let's see if they try to use his legs, get him in the scoring position, try to scratch across the run here in the inning.
Outfield straight away for Williams. As the next pitch hit foul off the third base side again. And the count evens at 1-1 strike. So 1-1 the count on Williams. 2 outs. Bottom of the second. 4-3. Cheyenne leading. And Sargent trying to hang the first 0 of the game between either side. Here's the 1-1. Well, bottom falls out of that thing as it gets to home plate. Nice save there by Richards, but it's 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, ever so important with that runner at first. You don't want to allow them into scoring position without them trying to take it. If you don't have an opportunity to get them out, it really stings when they get over there.
Sargent sets again, peeks back behind him, and McAnally ground ball to the right side. Nice play to get to it there by Hacker. Straightens and throws, and a good dig over at first base by Schilling. They get the out.
Yeah, let's go to the My Local Rodeo replay for that as Hecker lays out, dives, make a great play. Don't undercount the play by Riley Schilling at first to pick that ball out of the dirt, as that will do it for us here in the second.
No runs, no hits, a hit batter, and 1 man left. We're done with 2. Cheyenne leads 4-3. We'll go to the third in the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate on K-Ray and on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
Trust, hard work, and experience is what you'll find at Brian's Muffler Shop in Evanston. Quality work at a great price, Brian's Muffler is the perfect fit for oil changes, stock and performance mufflers, and Anderson hitches and accessories. Call Brian's Muffler today, 789-7021.
Good job by Grayson Sargent, thanks to the great defensive play behind him. by his second baseman, Dominic Hacker, to lay out, make the play, then get to his knees and be able to throw out the runner at first base. So here's Mason Drew to lead off the third with his team trailing by a run. It'll be Drew, followed by Riley Schilling, and then the aforementioned Dominic Hacker. So here's Drew, flew out to center. As a little thumb job down toward the third baseman. Tafoya wide of the bag, picks it up and throws him out.
It's a real good job there by Tafoya. He went down into a slide, I think more to stop his momentum so that way he could field and fire across for out number one.
So with one out, that'll bring up Riley Schilling, who single homer run back in the first inning.
That has to be a weight off the back of Schilling, as it hasn't been his best tournament, but he was able to come through for his team when they needed him.
We'll try to keep you up to date with what's happening around the majors today as well, as that pitch is hit to center. That's right at Horton. 2 pitches and 2 outs.
You almost have to imagine that the next batter up is going to be Hacker, who made the play. You got to take first pitch here, I think. Give Sargent a little bit of time to breathe, as that was a little bit of a stressful inning, and you don't want to send him right back out with the momentum heading in Cheyenne's direction.
So Hacker at the plate, as the right-handed hitting second baseman takes the first pitch for a strike. He made a great play. He ranged into the hole, able to lay out, knock the ball down. It was right in front of him. He got to his knees, but the throw he made was up the line, and it took just as equally a great play of Schilling to be able to field it and keep a toe on the bag for the out, as the pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Teammates picking up teammates. That's what it's all about. Here's the 0-2. As he takes it on the inside corner, strike 3 called. So Brandon Pearson throws 5 pitches in the inning and gets the side out in order, 1, 2, 3, as that was the first time that we get the side out in order here this afternoon. We'll go to the bottom of this third. Still, Cheyenne 4, Gillette 3. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group, and it's here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
I'm Kendall Roberts with the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Whether your car is a classic car or a new one, buckle up every time. Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
When you have an appointment with the dentist, it's reassuring to know that you're going to be seen by experienced, well-trained professionals. At Bear River Dental in Evanston, Dr. Lester, Dr. Owens, and Dr. Welch check every box. Plus, they're really nice people. Their passion to provide excellent dental care is reflected in everything from state-of-the-art equipment to professional, hardworking staff. Choose the professionals at Bear River Dental, serving patients of all ages. Call today to schedule an appointment.
Well, everyone's out to see this one here today. Not only is the stands full of people, but the Gillette College soccer team and the volleyball team are both in attendance here today as well. We welcome them here to the ballpark.
Yeah, that Gillette Pronghorns volleyball team, they're set to play their first game in program history coming up this fall, as they're a new addition.
Very nice.
Since they brought sports back to Gillette College.
So it's here's Hayden Swain to lead it off. Swain followed by Anderson and then Landon McAnally. As Sargent, who was able to get off the hook last inning, comes home and the first pitch to Swain is hit foul. Swain with his RBI single back in the first inning to drive in a run. He's 2 for 4 overall now on the day. And that RBI helped as part of that 4-run first inning.
Grayson Sargent's going to allow his fielders to get back into position, as first baseman Riley Schilling and the right fielder Loftus both ran a long way to try to get to that ball.
See, we can keep up with what's happening in the big leagues today as well as we play here in Gillette, as the fastball is up high, ball 1 ball and 1 strike. Houston Astros knocked off the Yankees today at Yankee Stadium by a final score of 9-7. Boy, the Mets continue to struggle. They lose to the Orioles in Baltimore today by a 2-0 score. Next pitch here to Swain, misses inside. It's a ball and a strike. Blue Jays really took one to the Red Sox today in Fenway. Final score there, Toronto 13, Boston 1. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. It's 2-2.
Yeah, you don't have to read the next one.
I will anyway. The Tampa Bay Rays pick up a win in Detroit over the Tigers by a score of 10-6. Notice I left that hapless off the beginning of the qualifier of the Tigers. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Swain leading off here in the bottom of the third. As the next pitch, fastball just missed. Runs the count full, 3-2.
This is a typical Hayden Swain at bat. Got behind in the count early. He's able to battle back, take some real close pitches, and now it's a full count.
So 3-2 on Swain. Grayson Sargent stand both feet on the rubber, rocks, and here he comes with a 3-2 pitch. It is low and away, ball 4. So Swain walks to lead off here in the third. That'll bring up Caden Anderson. Other scores, the Nationals beat the Reds in Cincinnati, but Reds have been red hot of late as well. 6-3 the final there. Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee 4-1.
Yeah, that walk is Swain's 7th of the tournament.
And his 2nd here today. So here's Caden Anderson, who also had an RBI single his first time up. That RBI, his 6th of the tournament, and that leads the team. First pitch misses outside, ball 1, 1-0. Other finals, Rockies beat the Cardinals 1-0. It was the Cubs 6 and the Braves 4 at Wrigley's. That ball's whacked to center. Center fielder Drube has to come up and play it on a hop.
Yeah, good deke there by Drube, as if Swain on first takes off right away. If he sees that ball in, he has a chance to go to third. Instead, Drube pretends like it's hit right at him, lets it fall in front of him because he's not going to be able to make the play, keeps Swain at second base.
And here comes the skipper for Gillette out to the mound. They come out and talk to his pitcher, Sargent. Kind of slow things down a little bit. Remember, he had a very long and difficult first inning, so he's had to throw a lot of pitches already as Nate Perleyberg out to the mound to talk to his man. So let's continue on. Let's see if we can wrap up all these Major League scores we're going through. Let's see. The Rangers get a win at home. They beat the Florida Marlins 6-0. Other games, a couple of other finals to tell you about. It was the White Sox beating the Guardians 5-3. Hopefully no fights in that game like last night. Philadelphia gets a win at home over the Kansas City Royals 8-4. And still 3 games yet to come today. That is the Arizona Diamondbacks in Minnesota against the Twins. Actually, I take that back. That's 1-0 Diamondbacks in the 6th inning. In the 7th inning, in Anaheim, the Mariners leading the Angels 2-1. 5th inning in Oakland, the Giants have a 4-3 lead over the Oakland Athletics. And the night game tonight on ESPN is the Dodgers in San Diego against the Padres. Showing bunt and bunting the ball foul over on the first base side, Landon McAnally, and it's 0-1.
It's been a struggle so far for McAnally, but you get the sacrifice bunt down, help your team out. You can feel good about this at bat and hopefully start to build some confidence.
So that's our look at the Major League scoreboard. Nobody out here. 4-3 Cheyenne leading here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Cheyenne has runners at first and second. Sargent set, comes home, ball bunted in the air. Get to it? No. As Richards, with a heck of a try, comes up just short, diving along the little dirt walkway, headed back toward the third base dugout, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, what an effort there from Richards. Just came so close trying to stealing that out, as he's going to get a couple of seconds to catch his breath, as in all that gear, diving, laying out the way he did, could take the breath out of you real quickly.
So 0-2 on Landon McAnally, the designated hitter. Reached on an error his first time, was left over at third as part of that 4-run first inning when Cheyenne sent 9 men to the plate. That ball swung on and missed. Good fastball from Sargent, blew it right by him.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it's gone for Landon McAnally in this tournament. Fails to get the bunt down, then punches out on the 0-2 pitch.
Third strikeout for Grayson Sargent. 1 out. And now here's the center fielder, Nolan Horton, who drove in a run back in the first inning with a single to center. Swain away from second, Anderson away from first. Schilling, the first baseman, playing up in front of the runners as showing bunt is Horton. Pulls it back to take. but hold on, no pitch. It's a balk.
Sargent kind of toes the line of coming completely set, as he likes to get that foot down and come right away. As that time he didn't get his foot down completely and come completely still, according to the home plate umpire.
You know, I thought we'd gotten through that. We didn't have any balks called last night. Well, we get one called here today in the championship game. So runners move up. They're at second and third with only one out. And let's see how they're going to play the infield now, as the bunt situation certainly off here. The third baseman Schilling playing at the cut of the grass. Schilling over at first, playing a couple of steps behind the bag. And the pitch here to Horton. Fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, at the plate for Horton, it looked like he was squaring to bunt on the pitch to sacrifice himself. He gets a little bit of a break. Now he gets to swing the bat and chance of driving a run.
Sargent working out of the windup now in the 0-1 pitch. His line foul, and it's 0-2. Bad thing with the balk and the runners moving up, it takes Cheyenne out of the double play possibility with nobody at first base. And you certainly don't want to walk Horton to try to set up a double play, because Coates would come back up, and he's the number 9 hitter in the lineup. And you definitely don't want the top of the order hitting with men on base. The 0-2. Fastball is high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I like that 0-2 pitch there. Fastball at the top of the zone, as Sargent's got a lot of strikeouts on that particular pitch.
Outfield is straight away, however, against Horton. About medium deep. And here's the 1-2. Hit foul again off the first base side. It stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good job there by Horton, getting rid of a real good pitcher's pitch, as that was on the outer corner. At about the letters, was able to catch up to it to get enough of that ball to stay alive.
So Horton back into the box. Sargent back up on top again. Here he comes with a 1-2. Ground ball wide to third, into left field, base hit. That'll get one home as Swain scores. They're going to send Anderson to the plate, and he is safe.
As it looks like Anderson slid around that tag. Let's go to the My Local Rodeo replay. As you take a look, as a good throw from the left field, up the line a bit. 2 runs come home.
Yeah, I was about to say that. The throw was up the line just a little bit. It allowed the runner to get in before the tag. So 2 runs here in the inning makes it 6-3 as Cheyenne opens up the lead again to 3 runs. And now the number 9 hitter, Kate Coates, comes up as 2 runs come in, and Horton goes to second base on the throw home.
And we talked about it all tournament, though. That first run coming in was a leadoff walk to Hayden Swain.
Yep. So here's Coates, grounded out to short his first time up. First pitch hit foul back into the screen.
Good base running, too, by Horton to go to second base on the throw home.
Yes, this is definitely a fundamentally sound team in Cheyenne. Yes, they take the extra base at every opportunity. Sargent ready again, looking back at second. The next pitch is hit foul again, and it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Still only 1 out. 6 runs on 5 hits, I should say, for Cheyenne in the game. 3-4-1 for Gillette. 0-2 pitch. Misses down and away, 1-2.
It's a good take there. Breaking ball, started in the zone, breaks off the table.
Coates climbs back in. Mason Tafoya waiting on deck. Unless a disaster happens, Tafoya will definitely get a chance to hit with men on base. Chopper over the mound, charging as Peterson has it near the bag, straightens and throws him out for the second out. But moving up to third base is Nolan Horton.
So real good play there by Peterson at shortstop, but also another great at-bat put together by this post-6 offense, as another team-friendly at-bat moves that runner over for the top of the order.
So here's Mason Tafoya, 0-2, but he comes up here with a chance to pick up the run with a guy standing at third base. He's struck out and has flown out to center. as the first pitch is grounded, foul, just outside of third and down the line.
Trying to ambush Sargent there as he nearly finds that third base line for what could have possibly been a double to score a run and then have another opportunity with the runner in position.
Tafoya has one extra base hit in the tournament and one RBI, but he's walked 4 times, so he's been a pest up there at the plate as that pitch misses high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Overall, coming into the game, he was 5 for 15, now 5 for 17 overall. Here's the 1-1 from Sargent. Ground ball wide to third. That's into left field, and that's going to pick up another run. Third run of the inning makes it 7-3. It's the lead back out to 4 runs again as Tafoya picks up his first hit.
Yeah, this offense is really coming to life here as not even through 3 innings, putting up 7 runs with 7 hits as they're taking what is given to them, but when they're getting free passes, they're making them pay.
So 3 runs on 2 hits, and here's Coulter McAnally again, who's walked and was hit by a pitch. So still looking for a first official at-bat in the game here. And up there now with 2 outs and a man at first base and Tafoya. Let's keep an eye on Tafoya, see if he's going to try to run. Tafoya, who's 2 for 2 in stolen bases in the tournament. That ball's ripped foul just over the head of the third baseman, Josh Hinwood, as he had to duck to get out of the way of it.
And that thing was coming fast as he was able to duck, but also turn around and look to make the call, most importantly.
That's right.
Great job by the umpire.
So McAnally down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball high again, and it's 1-2. McAnally, of course, next year will be wearing the red of the Utah Utes as he signed to go play baseball at the University of Utah in Salt Lake. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice save again by Richards.
That's also a real good take from McAnally as Sargent has a real good pitch that starts about the knees but just drops off the table into the dirt as these Sixers hitters have been able to lay off it today.
2 balls and 2 strikes on McAnally. The pitch home popped up. It's going to make the seats behind home plate, however, and the count will stay at 2-2.
Yeah, just able to get to that fastball at the top of the zone to get rid of it as he lives to see another pitch.
So a new ball again here for Sargent. McAnally climbs back in, back foot, all the way back on the back line. So he likes to get as much room as he can to see the baseball coming in. As the next pitch, look out, spins him around up and in.
Good job getting out of the way of that one. Is kind of seems in the games that I've watched him, he gets hit with a lot of pitches. I don't know if it's just the way his stance is or just because he's on top of the plate, but he seems to be a magnet.
He is pretty close, and they like to tie him up, not let him extend those powerful arms. As he gets his arms out on that one, hits it foul along the right field line, but it's going to drop untouched, and it stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now with the power of McAnally at the plate, the 3-2 count allows Tafoya to get a little bit of a head start. So if McAnally could find a gap, there's going to be a chance that Tafoya can come all the way home to score.
Tafoya with the 3-2 count will be off and running on the pitch. Schilling plays behind him with a full count. As Sargent ready. As the runner goes, and the 3-2 pitch is low and away, ball 4.
It's a real good at bat there by McAnally, staying within himself. Got a couple of real good pitches that he got rid of. As here comes manager Nate Perleyberg.
So here comes Nate Perleyberg again. That's the 3rd walk given up by Sargent, the 2nd here in the inning. And let's see if Perleyberg is going to bring a hook with him this time. Yes, he is. So we're going to have a pitching change here with Cheyenne upping the lead to 7-3. There's 2 outs with 2 on. And Julian Romero will be the next scheduled hitter for Post-Sixers. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll tell you about the new pitcher right after this.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When you get to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. Best Western Dunmar Inn, Evanston.
I'm Officer Kevin Malatesta, Public Information Officer for the Cheyenne Police Department. Cheyenne Police Department for the May mobilization is really looking for people who aren't seat belted in their cars. It's a secondary violation in Wyoming, but as we make traffic stops for speeding, cell phones, whatever it may be, we're going to be looking to make sure that people have their seat belts on. As we've gone over, seat belts do save lives, and way too many people in Wyoming aren't wearing them. We want to make sure that people get home safely, get to see their families again. So if they're involved in a car accident and that seatbelt is on, there's a much higher likelihood of that person making it through that accident, making it through without injuries even. When we have crashes without seatbelts, the consequences are much more severe.
The strategic plan for Uinta County School District Number 4 states, through collaboration with the entire learning community, our mission is to instill problem-solving skills in our students that will translate to a rapidly changing global environment. We work to accomplish this by constantly improving student achievement, improving student academic and behavioral skills with a district that operates efficiently and effectively. Uinta County School District Number 4, excellence in teaching, opportunity through learning.
Early mornings, tired muscles, pride, and grit. At Varsity Inc., we know how much work goes into building competitive teams. We work hard providing the gear you need to celebrate the teams you love. Be your athlete's biggest fan in apparel from Varsity Inc. Come in today, 926 Main Street, Evanston.
New pitcher for the Roughriders is last night's winning pitcher, Kelby Foss. Kelby Foss comes back in. Foss last night picked up the win against Pocatello. He went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits. Walked 2 and struck out 2, but it was good enough for the win. And now he comes in here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd and 2 men on base. First man he will face is Julian Romero, and the first pitch to Romero over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Sargent goes 2 2/3, gives up 7 hits. 7 runs thus far, but you can't close the book on him completely because he's responsible for the 2 men on base. He also walked 2, struck out 2, and he hit a batter. Foss comes home, the 0-1 pitch, ground ball towards short. It'll get him out of the inning as Peterson goes the short way to get the force, and the inning is over. But not before. Cheyenne sends 8 men to the plate. 3 come home to score on 2 hits, no errors, and there was 2 men left on base. We're done with 3 in the championship game here in Gillette, and Cheyenne is up by a score of 7-3. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette, and it's on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Dad, I heard that human eyes can distinguish between 1 to 10 million different colors. Is that true?
That is true. The human eye is amazing. We use our eyes not only to work and learn, but also to simply enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. At Uinta Eye and Vision, we care about each individual's eye health needs. Whether a person is looking for computer glasses, polarized sunglasses to assist in outdoor hobbies, contact lenses, or has general eye health needs, we are here to listen to our patients' thoughts and concerns to help them enjoy their amazing eyes.
Call today to schedule an appointment. 789-3937.
With 25 years of successful industry experience, Mountain West Business Solutions looks forward to providing all of our customers with exceptional service, industry-leading technology, and a one-of-a-kind buying experience. Having your office equipped with the right technology makes all the difference in the world. With a lower cost per print, we will supply you with the right technology for the best price. Great people, great products, and great service. Mountain West Business Solutions, 133 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Well, Cheyenne has upped the lead again. It's 7-3 as we go to work here in the top of the 4th. Kaysen Loftus leads it off, the right fielder. As the first pitch to Loftus misses inside. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. Loftus singled and scored his only other time up today, back in the second inning. As the next pitch is a ground ball foul. So Braden Pearson, second pitcher on for the Post Sixers, as both teams have had to go to the bullpen. So neither starting pitcher able to go long enough to qualify for a win, so they'll have nothing to do with it, win or lose, for either side. As Pearson now against Voss as the pitchers of record. 1 ball and 1 strike. Back home to Loftus. Look out, that's up and in. Has him doing a deep knee bend to get out of the way of that one, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Loftus just going to take a deep breath, step back in. I mean, if you're on the mound for Pearson, as long as it doesn't hit him, let him know that you're going to come inside.
Next pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
And then when you can dot a fastball at the knees on the outside corner, the pitch after, it makes it a real uncomfortable at bat.
So the count evens at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 offering. Little punch job. That's going to fall into right center field. Loftus has his second hit and the leadoff man on here in the top of the fourth.
That's just a great piece of hitting behind in the count with 2 strikes. He's able to reach out, punch that one into right field on a pitch on the outer third.
Hit number 5 in the game for the Roughriders. And now here's Brody Richards, who singled and scored in the second inning as well. Richards trying to make up for that 0-for-3 performance in the game last night against Cheyenne. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, on first base for Loftus. We talked about earlier, he started the game last night, and that's got to feel real good for him. Now he's got a pair of knocks in the game.
Gillette trying to win the game with their uniforms paying homage to the University of Wyoming. Their yellow jerseys with white stripes across the chest with Wyoming and across the chest. As the next pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-2. Cheyenne wearing the same uniforms they wore earlier, red jerseys and blue pants. As a pitch hit foul again back into the screen, and the count stays at 0 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's some real sharp uniforms around American Legion baseball, and these are 2 of the sharper ones on the field today.
A lot of people don't like them, but my favorite jersey that I've seen was the striped uniforms that the Astros used to wear back in the Mike Scott mid-'80s, early 80s days, late 70s.
I think you'd like to know that I'm pretty sure those jerseys have made their way to Evanston, Wyoming, as they have a version of them.
Right. My high school used to wear a version of those. Our high school coach, named Carl Major, as it fights it off and rolls it foul over on the first base side, and it stays at 0-2. Our Carl Major, our high school coach, had a little bit of a punch to him, had a little bit of a pot belly. And we used to tease him when we wear those jerseys, and we came out of the field, he looked more like the rings around Saturn. As the pitch up high, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a good job there by Richards, laying off that high and in fastball.
And no, to answer your question, we never had to run extra when we mentioned that to him. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Loftus at first, having led off the inning with a single. They're going to go over there, a little calling card toss just to let Loftus know that he's there. So Pearson with the little soft toss over to first. Richards back in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth. And once again, they're going to go back over there again. And Loftus dives back in again on his hands and knees. Here's the 1-2 again. Swung on and missed. Snap throw to first, and they got him.
What a turn of events. We go to the My Local Rodeo instant replay. As you can see, it's a great pitch from Pearson as he gets him down and away. The snap throw over in time for a strike him out, throw him out.
That's a big play by Anderson behind the plate for Cheyenne to throw the man out at first base. So the strikeout pickoff at first. There's 2 outs, and now here is Hogan Tystad. As Tystad takes the pitch over for a strike. Tystad grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Outfield swung around toward right field just a little bit for Tystad. As Horton, the right fielder, 10 steps or so over into the gap. That ball's hit foul down toward the right field corner, and it's going to land untouched. Williams gives chase, 10, 15, 20 yards off the field of play, headed over in the corner, tried to get to it, but couldn't get quite far enough.
It'll take a second to allow his fielders to get back into position.
So 0-2, the count on Tystad now with 2 outs. As Pearson trying to post a 0, let his team get back up there after putting up 3 runs last half inning. The 0-2 misses down low, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And he went fastball low there. I think went a little lower than he wanted, but 0-2 in the count. You can afford to do that.
Now the 1-2 on the way. Taking strike 3 called. Outside corner at the knees. Tystad takes a called 3rd strike. That's the first strikeout for Brendan Pearson since he came in. No runs, a hit, nobody left thanks to the runner being picked off first base. As we'll go to the bottom of the 4th after 3.5. It's Cheyenne 7, Gillette 3. This is the AA Northwest Region Championship game brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Risk takers, adventure seekers, optimists, authentic people with the fire in their belly and greatness in their hearts. You'll find them here, in a place where the spirit of the cowboy lives and thrives.
I am a cowboy.
I am a cowboy.
Soy vaquera. The world needs more cowboys.
Well, we'll move along to the bottom of the 4th inning. Colby Foss, who came in relief, threw just 2 pitches to get out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Threw 40 pitches in his appearance last night to collect the win over Pocatello. Now ready to go into his first full inning of work, as he'll face Corey Williams, Hayden Swain, and Caden Anderson, the middle of the lineup. So here's Williams, 0 for 2 in the game today. Was 0 for 3 in the first game of the day as well. They went over Rocky Mountain, so he's 0 for 5 overall on the afternoon. First pitch rolled foul up along the first base side, and it's 0-1. Foss back up on top, stands on both feet on the rubber. Big heavy sigh, he'll rock and come home with the 0-1. Fastball misses up and away, and it's a ball and a strike. Here to Corey Williams to lead off here in the 4th inning.
It's going to be important for Foss here to try to put zeros on the board as much as possible, because it's going to be a tough task scoring 4 runs to come back. Don't want to make it any tougher.
All 7 of those runs charged to Grayson Sargent. Little roller out in front of the mound. Foss has got it down to get it. He's got to hurry and throws him out.
That's a fine defensive play off the mound by Foss. He pounced on that ball, made sure he took his time, made a good throw over to first for out number 1.
So here is the first baseman, Hayden Swain. Swain singled home a run and scored in the first. Walked to lead off in the 3rd, and we've talked about ad nauseum this week. All those leadoff walks that come around to score. Yep, he did it again back in the 3rd. So Foss ready, rocks to the motion, and the first pitch to Swain. Over for a strike, and it's 0-1.
That's one of the few times you got a first pitch fastball there, except he gets one dotted on the outside corner.
Outfield pretty much straight away here against Swain. As Foss, next pitch, hit in the air toward right center field. Right fielder Loftus coming over. He's there and got it for the second out.
Brings up the catcher, number 11, Caden Anderson.
So here is Caden Anderson as Pocatello in danger of going out in order, or I should say Cheyenne going out in order for the first time in this game. They went out 1-2-3 twice in the first game against Rocky Mountain. As the first pitch, fastball misses outside, and 1 ball and no strikes. Anderson's 2 for 2, scored twice. He's also driven in a run.
That's a good take there on that first pitch. Just missed off the outside part of the plate.
There's the next pitch home here to Anderson. Kind of spins him around a little bit. It's 2-0.
I don't mind that pitch there from Foss, like we talked about in the top half of the inning. You want to announce to the batter that you're not afraid to go inside. Stops them from diving out over the plate.
Foss ready again. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Anderson hits a ground ball to short. It's going to be cut off by the third baseman Schilling, who throws him out. And Cheyenne indeed goes out 1-2-3 for the third time on the day. They go out in order, and we will go to the fifth. After 4, Cheyenne leads 7-3 in the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group in Gillette. And it's on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Do you want to further your education? Are you thinking of attending college? You can start now here in Evanston. Western Evanston Outreach provides students with a low-cost alternative to leaving town. Western offers a variety of degrees including nursing, BAS, and our brand new cybersecurity. Also offering a variety of certificate programs that can be completed all right here in Evanston. Western Evanston Outreach, we are your local community college.
Well, the winner of this game is going to punch their ticket to the American Legion World Series next week in Shelby, North Carolina. The winner of this game will face the winner of the championship game in the Western region that gets started in about 30 minutes. That's between Las Vegas and League City, Texas. That game will be at 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday back in North Carolina. What we do know also is Ellsworth, Maine will represent the East region.
Yeah, that World Series bracket starting to kind of fill out. It's becoming exciting times as we got a conversation on the mound.
We've got all of the umpires together in the infield. I'm not sure what this is about, as now they're signaling to have the head coach for Cheyenne come out, as the home plate umpire Nick Stevens wants to talk to Ty Lane here for a moment, as everything is I'm not sure what it is, but they're all standing around. Are they? I guess there has been some discussion in the past, I'm being told, with the possibility of doctoring baseballs by the Cheyenne team, and all the umpires are out there inspecting the glove, the hat. They're feeling around on the neck and there is product now on the market that your pitchers like to use. They put on their fingers, makes their fingers a little bit sticky, and they get greater spin velocity. They can increase the spin rate that'll make their breaking balls pitch more or move more. The home plate umpire has a ball in his hand, and I'm not sure what this is going to do, because they're not asking the pitcher Brandon Pearson to leave. He's still standing there. So if they feel like the ball has been doctored, that he would be removed from the game. So they go back over and they talking to Nick Perleyberg now over by the third base coach's box. And
looked like in between a Major League Baseball game there where they check everything. It's now required in Major League Baseball. It became such a problem last year that they put a full-out ban.
Yep. So for every pitcher in the game, he has to be checked the first couple of innings when he comes off the field. And I would hate to see that become part of Little League or Pony League or American Legion ball. But it is part of the game. It's what they have, what they feel like they do to be successful. So again, they're not asking Pearson to leave, but the home plate umpire has a baseball in his hand, and he's not letting go of it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So now they're going to put a ball into play as they're asking Caton Killian to back up, because they've been checking the pitcher. He hasn't had a chance to throw any warm-up tosses yet in the inning. And I'm not sure what the home plate umpire is planning on doing with that extra ball, as they're going to throw it out of play as it's making its way over to the dugout. So whatever Nick Stevens discovered, it wasn't egregious enough to remove Brandon Pearson from the game.
Who knows? Maybe the baseball went out of play, and little kids tend to grab these balls and return them, and they also tend to eat candy sometimes. Maybe their hands were sticky and it rubbed off on the ball, and they just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, as the first pitch here to Killian is hit in the air to short left. Coming up on the ball is Romero to make the catch. That's true. They've been asking and paying kids to bring foul balls back and giving them $1, and you never know where the balls had landed or who's had them in their hands. So it's hard to determine if the pitcher is doctoring the ball, because you don't know where the ball's been.
Yeah, it's good to see that the Cheyenne infield was having a little fun with it, with second base umpire Gary Delgado. Coulter McAnally, while the pitcher Braden Pearson on the mound was getting checked, was running his fingers through his hair, telling the umpire to check his hair.
As here's Seth Peterson, first pitch fastball over for a strike, and I think they've angered Pearson a little bit, as that had a little extra juice on that pitch. Here's the 0-1. Comes right back, fastball, misses down low. And it's 1-1 strike. So Pearson saying, in effect, you think I'm doctoring the ball to get more movement on my curveball? I'll just throw fastballs past you the rest of the day. Here's the 1-1. Another fastball up and in. It's 2-1.
Yeah, it's a real invasive check. If you're not a big fan of people touching you, as there are quite a few of those people in the world, it's not a fun check to be in.
2 balls and a strike. As that pitch swung on and missed. I'll give you this. At least they're not going out and making pitchers undo their belt, check the waistline of their pants like they did last year in Major League Baseball. They've done away with that. It's forearms and necks and exposed skin where they could put that stuff, or the hat or the glove. As the pitch again misses down low, and the count now full, 3-2 to Seth Peterson with 1 out. Ready again, the pitch home. Peterson hits it foul off the first base side. Coming over to have a look is Swain, but it's going to be out of play. And the count stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the 3-2 pitch on the way. Up high, ball 4, as Seth Peterson will draw a walk with one out here in the top of the 5th.
See if that at-bat sparks the offense here at the top of the order as the 2, 3, 4 hitters are due up next. Let's run around base, see if Peterson's on the move here.
We updated you on a couple of teams headed to the American Legion World Series. We can kind of go through the rest of them for you here as well. We mentioned that League City, Texas will take on Las Vegas for the West Crown. In the Northeast, Ellsworth, Maine has already won. Mid-Atlantic Conference is Brooklawn, New Jersey, as they've already punched their ticket. As the pitch fastball up high to Corey Schilling, ball 1 ball and no strikes. Southeast, it'll be Florence, South Carolina that will go to the World Series. The Mid-South region is come down to, as we'll give you that here in just a second, as Pearson's going to go to first base. The Mid-South region is final game comes down to Troy, Alabama against Paragard, Arkansas. The Great Lakes region will be played between Midland, Michigan, and Cedar Rapids, Iowa, as the pitch again misses outside. And now here again comes Ty Lane out to come out and talk to his pitcher. And nobody's throwing in the bullpen, so I don't think we're going to have a pitching change. I just think he wants to just come out and settle him down, as he's gotten rattled a bit, and he's trying to just pump BBs past the Gillette Roughriders hitters, as he really hasn't thrown a breaking pitch this half inning since they checked him for any kind of suspected doctoring of the ball. And finally, the Central Plains comes down to, looks like St. Michael, Minnesota against Lincoln, Nebraska. And those are your teams all participating in the final games today to see who's going to be headed to the World Series coming up in Sydney, North Carolina next week.
Well, if radio doesn't work out for our friend and engineer Elon Olive, he has a second job as a doctor. He's got the handwriting of a doctor.
As the 2-0 pitch up high again, ball 3, as Pearson falls behind Schilling.
I could joke about that because my handwriting is equally as bad.
That's how I could read it all, because we're all in the same boat. The 3-0 pitch over for a strike, it's 3-1.
Maybe that's why teachers always complained they couldn't read my handwriting, because they had good handwriting. Reading mine has basically set me up for success, because I can read almost anybody's handwriting.
The 3-1, outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks puts runners at first and second with one out here in the 5th. And it brings up Mason Drube.
Good chance here for the Riders. Mason Drube, their hottest hitter. Runners on first and second. As I run around first to that scoring position with Drube at the plate.
Cheyenne leading 7-3. One out here in the 5th. As here's Drube. Drube today is 0 for 2. Flew out to center and grounded out. But he's one of the better hitters on this Gillette team. Certainly one of the guys you want up when you need to come up with some production with a couple of men on base. As the first pitch again from Pearson is up high, ball 1. Still nobody throwing in the bullpen behind Pearson with a 4-run lead right now. He's out there on his own. Time called as Drube, tired of waiting, and backs out.
Pitch count not an issue for Pearson. He's only at 48. Of course, he didn't start the game.
Ready again, sets at the belt. They play in front of the runner over at first base, does Swain. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball again, kind of spins him around. And hold on, here comes Ty Lane again. He says, hold on, I've seen enough. My man's rattled enough to where he can't find the strike zone, and I'm going to have to make a pitching change. So we'll take a timeout here. We'll have a new pitcher coming in for Cheyenne. We'll tell you about who the new pitcher coming in is right after this timeout.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When you get to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. Best Western Dunmar Inn, Evanston.
I'm Officer Kevin Malatesta, Public Information Officer for the Cheyenne Police Department. Cheyenne Police Department for the May mobilization is really looking for people who aren't seat belted in their cars. It's a secondary violation in Wyoming, but as we make traffic stops for speeding, cell phones, whatever it may be, we're going to be looking to make sure that people have their seat belts on. As we've gone over, seat belts do save lives, and way too many people in Wyoming aren't wearing them. We want to make sure that people get home safely, get to see their families again. So if they're involved in a car accident and that seatbelt is on, there's a much higher likelihood of that person making it through that accident, making it through without injuries even. When we have crashes without seatbelts, the consequences are much more severe.
The strategic plan for Una County School District Number 4 states, through collaboration with the entire learning community, our mission is to instill problem-solving skills in our students that will translate to a rapidly changing global environment. We work to accomplish this by constantly improving student achievement, improving student academic and behavioral skills with a district that operates efficiently and effectively. Uinta County School District Number 4, excellence in teaching, opportunity through learning.
Early mornings, tired muscles, pride, and grit. At Varsity Inc., we know how much work goes into building competitive teams. We work hard providing the gear you need to celebrate the teams you love. Be your athlete's biggest fan in apparel from Varsity Inc. Come in today, 926 Main Street, Evanston.
All right. Just checking with our official score for a moment as the new pitcher in here for the Post Sixers, I should say, is the right fielder Corey Williams, as Williams and Braden Pearson just flip-flop in the lineup, or flip-flop positions. However, Braden Pearson will also, when he's staying in the game, he will assume the designated hitter position, so he will take over in the lineup in the number 7 spot in the lineup for Landon McAnally. So McAnally leaves going 0 for 2, and Pearson will now become the new right fielder, and they will no longer have a designated hitter in the lineup. So a 2-ball, no strike count, as Williams will inherit the count as they come by, and they're asking now to have Williams. He's got a couple little wristbands on, rubber bands and pieces of that, little trinkets for good luck, and he's got to take all those off before he can pitch. So they're taking all those off as the first baseman, Swain, is there, and it'll be Swain who will run them back across the field, and he'll put him in his pocket and he'll hold them there until they can get rid of him. So he assumes a 2-ball, no strike count to Mason Drube. Still 1 out, and the pitch home to Drube, hit foul back to the screen, and it's 2-1.
That's a real important strike there, as of course being down 2-0 as a pitcher coming into the middle of an at-bat, weird situation. That's a great job throwing a strike, getting yourself right back in it.
As he comes in and assumes a 2-ball count, if for some reason they should go to ball 4 and Mason Drube would walk, the walk would still be credited to Corey Williams, or as the reliever, because the only time that the walk would go to the starting pitcher or the pitcher being taken out is he had a ball 3 count. As that now the count goes to 3 balls and a strike as the breaking ball misses outside. So 3 balls and a strike. Williams ready. He's making his first appearance on the mound here in the tournament. As the next pitch is over for a strike, and it's 3-2.
That's a real good 3-1 fastball down at the knees, as you can't really get hurt too much there. 3-1, the batter's looking to rip, see if they can cut into this deficit.
Now down 4. The question is here, does Perleyberg start the runners to try to stay out of the double play with a 3-2 count as they trail by 4? Williams sets. They go, and the pitch is low. Ball 4.
Gillette being aggressive pays off as they do get the walk. As they started the runners, I thought maybe with Mason Drube's speed and how quick he is down that first baseline, maybe they would stay put, hold pat. Instead, they're being aggressive, and they're trying to get back into this one.
3rd walk of the inning, 4th of the game given up by Cheyenne pitchers. That walk credited to Corey Williams. Now the bases are loaded and only one out, and the potential tying run comes to the plate in Riley Schilling. 7-3, Cheyenne leads. Fastball ties up Schilling as he rolls it foul, and it's 0-1. No wind in the ballpark today as the weather's really cleared up from what it has been the last couple of days. So if you're going to hit one out, it's going to take a gargantuan-sized blast to hit it out of here. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses low, and it's a ball and a strike. Peterson's at third, Schilling at second, Drube over at first. One out. And Schilling at the plate representing the tying run. Runner bluffs down the line from third. Williams doesn't phase him as the ball's rolled foul behind Perleyberg over at third. And it's now 1-2.
Big situation here for Williams. Bases loaded. Obviously that potential tying run standing at the plate. But if you can get a ground ball, you are out of this if your defense can turn a double play.
Williams ready again. The right-hander sets at the belt. And the 1-2. Fastball just missed. Wow. And it's 2-2.
That's a real good take there from Schilling as that bat left his shoulder, but he was able to hold up as he didn't quite commit to the swing. Good take there.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the double play in order, so Cheyenne could get out of the inning with a double play. Ball hit in the air, left field. Romero coming over, tagging is Peterson. There's the catch. Here comes Peterson, who bluffs. Comes about a half dozen steps down the line and slams on the brakes.
Yeah, that's probably the right decision. Give yourself another opportunity with the bases loaded. That was a real good throw there from Julian Romero in left field.
So there's 2 outs, and Dominic Hecker will come up. Hecker's 0 for 2. Grounded out and took a called third strike for the third out back in the third inning. So with the bases loaded, Williams can now go out of the windup as he'll work from the third base side of the rubber with the bases loaded. As he'll work on Hecker here, try to get out of the inning. First pitch, ground ball wide of third. That's going to be cut off by Tafoya. He'll go across, and Gillette leaves the bases loaded here in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits. They leave the bases full, and there was no errors. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th after 4.5. It's still Cheyenne 7, Gillette 3, as this is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Water testing, community enhancement grants, seedling trees and wildflowers, classroom lessons and specialty workshops, composting and conservation of water and soil. The Uintah County Conservation District is here to serve Uintah County residents. Visit our website today, uintahcountycd.com.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe. I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family. I buckle up because it keeps me safe. Go Pokes, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
So a tough inning there for the Gillette Roughriders as they leave the bases loaded and had a couple of chances at it. They had the bases loaded and only 1 out and couldn't get a run across. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 7-3. Colby Foss will stay in there for the Roughriders here in the bottom of the 5th. And it'll be the new right fielder, Braden Pearson, to lead it off here And he'll be followed by Nolan Horton and Cade Coates, the bottom third of the order here in the bottom of the fifth. So Foss pushes off into the bottom of the fifth, and utmost importance for him to post a 0 hit here for his team, as the first pitch to Pearson is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1.
For the Riders, they're hoping they don't look back at that last opportunity and kick themselves over. Bases loaded, 1 out, nobody coming in.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, that's for a strike, and it's 0-2.
It's a real good curveball. Down and away at the knees. It's a real tough pitch to handle. It's a good take there from Pearson.
Now the 0-2 pitch on the way as Foss rocks and comes home. Ground ball to the right side. Hacker has to go between his feet as he had to go off his glove. Error against Hacker.
That's a tough break. We talked about leaving them loaded, and then the next inning, it's an error on the plate.
Second error of the game charged against the Roughriders. So the leadoff man aboard. Now here is Nolan Horton, who has a pair of hits, and he's driven in 3 runs today. Horton, who only had 4 RBIs the entire first 4 days of the tournament, has 3 today and pushes that bunt foul over on the first base side.
They're trying to get that bunt down. They want to extend the lead to 5. The Sixers getting any runs across the plate help as you're heading towards the final 6 outs you have to get to punch your ticket to the World Series.
Yeah, you would like to get above 4 as far as a lead is concerned, as the 0-1 pitch, as again it's bunted foul, and it's 0-2. Reason you want to be above 4 just in case the roof caves in, basically, and for whatever reason Gillette would be able to load the bases again in the 6th or 7th inning and lightning strike and hit a grand slam home run. As long as you're up by more than 4 runs, a grand slam cannot tie or beat you. Now the 0-2 pitch on the way from Foss. It's up high, 1-2.
Now there are some batters in this Gillette lineup that do have enough power to hit one out, so you can never be too careful with the lead in baseball, because the moment you kind of sit and relax on your heels that a 4-run lead becomes cushy enough is the moment that a 4-run lead evaporates in front of your eyes.
Right, and it's a fine line you have to walk there as it pitches a ground ball slowly up along third. Schilling has it, makes the throw across, but he pulls him off the bag. That's going to be a tough play coming up along the line. It's going to be the 3rd hit of the game for Nolan Horton.
Yeah, Horton failed to get the sacrifice bunt down. Instead, a little swinging bunt down the third baseline. Runs it out, hustles hard, gets an infield single.
So runners at first and second and nobody out. Now the number 9 hitter, Cade Coates, will come to the plate. Coates twice today has hit the ball on the ground to the shortstop Peterson and grounded out. I want to talk to Coates before he steps into the box. So the skipper comes down from third base. He has a brief word with the hitter. And Coates now ready to climb back in. Has a word with the umpire before he climbs back into the box. As Foss ready to go as he climbs back up on top of the bump. Drew moves a couple of steps over into right center field here as Coates climbs in, hitting from the right side. He shows bunt, and he's able to get it down, pops it up, and quickly it's Schilling to come up and make the catch. And then Coates tries to just run into Schilling intentionally. In fact, he altered his course to run into him, and the umpire steps in and warns the two and separates them as they also exchange words after that little brief collision.
Yeah, it's intensity in the heat starting to pick up. It's a little fiery over here.
So back to the top of the order, and Mason Mason Tafoya now comes up. So 1 out. And here's Tafoya. Tafoya with an RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He was 3 for 4 in the first game today against Rocky Mountain. So both the runners had to hold their positions as unable to get the bunt down. Foss ready again, looks back at second base, and the 1-0. Hit in the air to left field, playable. Killian going back, short of the track. He's there, makes the catch for the second out.
That's a real good job there by Foss after the first 2 runners on. Inducing the popped-up bunt and then getting Tafoya there with a real good pitch on the inner third to get him to pop up to the left fielder.
So here's McAnally, and Coulter has been on base 3 times today, and he hasn't had to swing the bat once. He's walked, hit by a pitch in the second inning, and then walked again in the third. So 2 outs and 2 on, and McAnally at the plate. And the first pitch home, he takes it a strike at the letters.
There's a big difference in the at-bats that Foss has on the mound when he gets ahead versus when he falls behind. When he falls behind, that's when the Sixers have had success. When he gets ahead is when he typically gets them out.
Pearson with a lead away from second. And the 0-1 pitch, fastball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Hacker's doing a good job trying to bird dog Pearson at second base, trying to keep him close. And, of course, Nolan Horton over there at first base. He's 3 for 3 on the day, making a major bid for our player of the game. The 0-2. Bounces up there, knocked down. No advancement by either runner as Richards able to keep that ball relatively close as Pearson able to has to hold at second base.
Richards did a good job. Sometimes when you stand up, when you're behind the plate and take it off the chest, it'll bounce away further. He really emphasized getting those shoulders rolled forward to knock that down.
So it's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the 5th. Hold on. I think our home plate umpire has to wipe. Has he got sweat or a bug or something buzzing around inside of his mask, but he takes time out for himself here for a moment.
Possibly turf, as a lot of turf pellets get kicked around when the batter stepped into the batter's box.
So now he's ready to go. Pulls the mask back on. Umpires are a tough bunch. Nick Stevens behind the plate today. The 1-2. Ground ball foul outside of third and down the line. So a big spot here, and you would expect a big-time player like Coulter McAnally to step up in this type of situation. He's down in the count, 1-2. 2 outs. Foss with a new ball, climbs back up on top of the bump. And now again, here comes the 1-2. Curve, popped up, playable. Here comes the left fielder, Killian, coming over near the line, has it. And Cheyenne turned away here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, 1 hit. There was an error and 2 men left. We're done with 5. It's still Cheyenne 7, Gillette 3 on the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group, and it's on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Red Devil pride runs deep with the team at Callis Automotive. Today's students are tomorrow's leaders. You'll always find quality products at fair prices at Callis Automotive. We're proud to serve our customers, our community, and our Evanston Red Devils. Stop in today. Callis Automotive, your local Napa dealer.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Well, we'll move along to the 6th as the Roughriders are able to turn Cheyenne away in the bottom of the 5th, leave a couple of men on base. So here in the 6th, it'll be Kason Loftus, Brady Richards, and then Hogan Tystad, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup here for Gillette, as Gillette now down to their final 6 outs, and they're down by 4 runs. So they need to come up with some offense and do it in a hurry, as Corey Williams, who came in to pick up the final out last inning, final couple of outs last inning, will head into his first full inning of work here. Loftus with a pair of hits, singled and scored a run in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and then made that cardinal mistake of being picked off and hits a first pitch, a one-hopper backhanded by Tafoya by the bag and throws him out. Great play.
That's a huge momentum change. That ball gets by Tafoya. It's down the line. Could possibly be 2. Instead, Tafoya picks it with real good soft hands over there to complete the out.
So the catcher, Brady Richards, coming up. Richards singled and scored. He was the guy who struck out in the 4th inning for the front end of the strikeout throw-out double play as he hits this one into left field for a base hit. He has his 2nd hit of the game, 1-out runner over at first base. And here comes Hystad.
That's a good job again out in left field by Romero. Getting to that ball quickly and keeping that runner to 1 base. One last thing about that play by Tafoya. One thing he did real well defensively is his glove was moving towards the ball, not, very dramatically, but just a little bit, so that way that bounce comes right into the glove. You let it try to come to your glove, it's going to be a real tough play.
Tystad 0 for 2, grounded out and took a called 3rd strike back in the 4th. And the first pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Cheyenne. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Gillette. Like we said, their outs are now starting to dwindle away with the ground out down to 5. Another little slow roller to Tafoya. He'll bare hand throw across in time for the 2nd out.
We're going to go to the My Local Rodeo replay on that one as Mason Tafoya makes his 2nd great play of the inning as he charges bare hands, fires that one across. If you're the Riders, you may want to try someone else than the man standing over at 3rd.
Keaton Killian now comes up, single home and took a couple of runs earlier in the game. He's 1 for 2 with the 2 RBIs on the ground ball. Richards moves up to 2nd base. So chance to drive in another run here for Killian if he can put a ball in play someplace. First pitch, run it away from the left-handed hitting Killian, and it's on the corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Williams back up on top. Richards away from 2nd, off-speed breaking pitch. That's a good take as he lays off the pitch just off the outside edge.
That's a real nice pitch from Williams, too, as that ball started about the middle of the zone and just kind of faded.
Williams up on top. Now he'll set at the belt. Look back at 2nd base. And comes home, and Killian lifted the ball into short left field. Romero coming up, but he can't get there. Around 3rd, here comes Richards home to score, and it's a 3-run game as they make it 7-4.
Richards off on contact is able to hit the bag and score without a throw. And it's great base running there by Richards, understanding the situation, making sure he gets in as they cut the lead to 3.
And with a man at first base and 2 outs, they go back to the top of the order again. And now here's Seth Peterson. Peterson, who walked his last time up, he's 0 for 2 officially in the day. And big spot for the guy. We had a couple of hits in the game last night against Cheyenne, and lines this one into left field, base hit. They're not done. 3rd hit of the inning. And with 2 outs and 2 on, here is Corey Schilling now at the plate, and he comes up representing the tying run. Schilling has walked twice, and grounded out, so he's 0 for 1 on the game. But up there now in a big spot with 2 men on and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. First pitch, ground ball towards short. McAnally will go the short way and the inning is over. So Schilling grounds into the force play. 6-4 on the force of Peterson. And Gillette has to settle for the 1 run. 1 run on the 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. They've cut into it just a little bit. It's now Cheyenne 7, Gillette 4 on the AA Northwest Regional Baseball Championship game. Brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Cheyenne. And it's all right here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning as Gillette was able to scratch out a run, and it's now 7-4. So once again, the onus falls on Kelby Foss to get out of the inning without giving up anything else. And here in the bottom of the 6th inning, they'll start with Julian Romero, Corey Williams, and then Halen Swain.
Yeah, Foss has done a good job since coming into this ball game. Put up a couple zeros the last 2 innings, and we're hoping to do so for his team. Try to get back into this one, the top half of the 7th. And can you believe we are all the way into this top half of the 7th, or excuse me, bottom of the 6th in the championship game already, Dan?
It's been quite the week, and this has been just another. This is like the cherry on top of what has been an outstanding week of baseball. So Foss ready and comes home, and the first pitch popped up right around home plate. Richards coming back, but it's going to land on the roof.
Yeah, if you're Foss there, you got to point to where that ball was. As Richards looking up, he's doing the circle, looking to find that ball. It helps when your pitcher, when that ball is popped up, the pitcher sees where it is, point where it's at, whether it's straight behind you, left or right, so that way your catcher doesn't have to guess.
So 0-1, new baseball for Foss. As he stands on the rubber, Roxon comes home, breaking pitch is up high again. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Foss ready again, comes home with the next pitch, and that is up high again, and it's 2-1.
It's a real good take. That ball not very much out of the zone, just barely.
So if you're looking ahead to the 7th inning for Gillette, they'll start in the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. So they have the heart of the lineup coming up, down by 3. But will it still be 3 by the time they get there? As again, the pitch is popped up right in the middle of the infield. It'll be the shortstop. That is Peterson to take charge and make the play.
See, that time Foss did that exact same thing we just talked about. It's a good adjustment on the mound. Sometimes it's not just about pitching. Sometimes you got to help your defense out as they're trying to help you out.
So it's 1 out. Now here's the pitcher, Corey Williams.
Brings up the pitcher, number 16, Corey Williams.
Nobody throwing down in the bullpen, down in the left field corner for Cheyenne. So right now it's Corey Williams out there on his own to pitch in the 7th inning. As Williams at the plate and takes the first pitch down and in, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes.
It's a very underrated play there by Peterson as he ran a long way, standing on the outfield grass all the way over to the first base side of the mound to make that play.
Williams 0 for 3 in the game, has struck out and grounded out a couple of times. And the 1-0 pitch is up high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Foss, who threw 40 pitches last night, And now Coach Perleyberg headed out to talk to his right-hander. And we'll see what's, again, can't really see down in the bullpen for Gillette down in the right field corner because of the snack bar and the clubhouse down there and all the roofs in the way. Can't really see into the bullpen. But this looks to be more of a just come out and talk here moment as he's joined by the entire infield. Doesn't seem to be interested in going to the bullpen, does Perleyberg. Now gives him a few hand claps, a little tap on the shoulder, and go get him, kid, as he turns and heads back to the dugout.
Well, we have a moment. I want to tell you that coming into the spring of 2024 is My Local Rodeo, starting with the Intermountain Icebreaker Rodeo in Ogden, Utah in March. Then catch the entire Utah high school rodeo season and the Wyoming and Utah high school state finals in June. Also check out My Local Rodeo podcast wherever you get your podcasts coming in September. That's My Local Rodeo.
So 2 balls and no strikes on Williams. Foss comes home, big chopper towards second. There's Hacker. Throw across in time for the second out.
Whatever Coach Perleyberg said seemed to work. As one pitch after the mound visit, they get the second out of the inning.
So here is the first baseman, Hayden Swain. Singled, walked, scored twice, and the only time they got him, he flew out to right field. He was 1 for 3 back in the first game today as well against Rocky Mountain. As the first pitch misses outside and low, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0, outfield straight away and medium deep as Swain takes that next pitch again up high, ball 2, 2-0. 7-4, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. And Gillette down to their final 3 outs, down by 3. The 2-0. Look out. Kind of spins Swain around, gets him out of the box, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes on the Cheyenne first baseman.
You got to be careful. Can't just groove one here to Swain. Has the ability to change that scoreboard with one swing of the bat.
It's now starting to mill around down in the bullpen for Cheyenne down in the left field corner. The 3-0 pitch over for a strike, and it's 3-1.
It's a good 3-0 fastball on the outer third.
There's a left-hander down there starting to get loose for Cheyenne. The next pitch is a ground ball. That's hit to the shortstop. Peterson has it, goes across in time as they retire the Cheyenne Fort Sixers for the first time in orders. They go out 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the 7th. Due up for Gillette in the 7th inning. It's Mason Drube, Riley Schilling, and Dominic Hacker as they trail 7-4 on the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate here in Gillette on K-Ray and MyLocalRadio.com.
Freeway Tire offers a nationwide service protection plan that covers service parts and labor on select systems, keeping your vehicle on the road. Plus, it includes coverage for towing, lockout service, flat tire changing, fuel, oil, and water delivery service, and jump starts. Knowing that your vehicle is covered at over 50,000 dealer locations nationwide provides that peace of mind wherever you are. Get the details. Visit Freeway Tire and ask about the service protection plan. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Western Wyoming Beverages has been proudly owned and operated in Wyoming for over 50 years, providing reliable service, friendly staff, and the nation's top beverage products, including Pepsi. We always strive to be the premier business partner for our customers. Western Wyoming Beverages services Rock Springs, Green River, Jackson, Evanston, Kemmer, Pinedale, Wamsutter, Big Piney, Mountain View, and Lyman. Go Red Devils!
All right, do or die time here for the Roughriders from Gillette. They trail by 3, 7-4, as they go to work here in the top of the 7th inning. Mason Drube, Riley Schilling, and Dominic Hacker, their first 3 scheduled hitters here in the top of the 7th inning. as it's Corey Williams who continues on. The kid throwing it, whoever was throwing in the bullpen, the left-hander who was throwing was Julian Romero. So he is definitely loose and ready to go if they should need him here in the inning. So here is Mason Drube. Drube flew out, grounded out, and walked his last time up. As the folks here are already starting to stomp their feet in support of the Roughriders, trying to get something going here in the 7th. And the first pitch, fastball over for a strike, and it's 0-1.
That's a real good way to silence the crowd. A perfect fastball down and away.
Drube ready again as the pitch from Williams is lined into the bullpen down in the left field corner, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if you're Williams, you have anything softer than what you just threw, probably be a good time to try that on the 0-2 pitch.
As Drube climbs back in, leads the team in hits in the tournament. Was 2 for 2 last night against Cheyenne, and pops this ball up. First baseman trying to catch up to it and can't. Swain stumbled coming over near the bag, and it cost him just that extra half step that he needed to try to get to the ball as he laid out to try to get there, and almost looks like he twisted his ankle maybe just a little bit as he struggles to get to his feet. The training staff comes out to look at him. Not only did he lay out, but landed on full out on his chest as well. That very well could have knocked some of the wind out of him. So trainers come over to talk to him just a little bit, let him catch his breath here before we continue on.
Of course, the all-turf infield doesn't have as much give as natural grass. As a lot of these kids, when you hit the ground, it's a thud.
At least this infield, this synthetic infield, is laid on sand, and it's not like the old AstroTurf infield, which is nothing more than a rug laid on asphalt. And so you would dive and lay out on the old AstroTurf, and you hit the ground with full force. You knew it.
Yeah, nothing like playing baseball in a parking lot.
Now they have him trying to raise up on his toes a little bit as very gingerly putting weight on his right ankle, and puts his hat on, gets a pat on the backside from Coates, and looks like he'll be ready to go back to work. So tough kid, and able to try to make the play as Hayden Swain not able to make the play, but certainly toughing it out here. No balls and 2 strikes. The count remains on Mason Drube. Win or lose for either team, we will have the presentations coming up after the game here as time called. Drube tired of waiting and backs out here for a moment as he gets home timeout from the home plate umpire. So stick with us. We'll have the celebration and presentations after the game. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed.
Good pitch at the top of the zone induces that strikeout, as now the Post Sixers 2 outs away from being that team to make history.
First strikeout for Williams. No team from Wyoming has ever gone to represent the Wyoming State in the American Legion World Series, as Cheyenne is just 2 outs away from getting there. As the first pitch to Riley Schilling misses inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0. Ground ball wide of third, and it's 1-1. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Cheyenne. 4-8-2 for Gillette. Like last night, the game kind of got away from them early. Ground ball to short. McAnally backhands, throws across. Bad throw, pulls his runner off the bag. As a good play by the first baseman just to get to the ball with that bum ankle.
Yeah, I'll check that on the My Local Rodeo replay as McAnally gets around the ball. So they're going to rule it an infield single. Real tough play. Fires on the run, unable to make the throw.
Coming to the plate, second baseman, number 11.
9th hit of the game for Schilling. Now with the runner at first base, here's Dominic Hacker Hacker needs to get on base to bring what would be the potential tying run to the plate. Hacker 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. And the first pitch to Hacker is a fastball that's up in the zone, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Down by 3. You certainly wouldn't expect the Gillette coaching staff to put on any kind of a play. Is with 1 out, they just need base runners right now. As the next pitch is inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Even defensively, if you're the Sixers, I would imagine on the low chance there is a run, they might just give that bag up and try to play defense in case the runner or the hitter does swing.
So 2-0 the count on Hacker. There's the 2-0 pitch. That's hit toward left center field rather, but it's playable. And right there is Horton to make the catch. That's the second out.
Down to 1 out now from history.
And here comes Kason Loftus to the plate. Loftus today is 2 for 2 and was also out on that great backhanded play over at third base by Tafoya. So the folks from Cheyenne starting to rise to their feet and trying to bring this home as they're down to their last out are the Roughriders. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Wyoming and Alaska and Vermont are the only states never to have a representative in the American Legion World Series. The pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-2. Alaska was here, and they were eliminated. Vermont didn't make their state competition, the regional playoff. And now Cheyenne 1 strike away. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Hello, North Carolina. Cheyenne's coming to visit. The celebration is on out there in the middle of the infield as Cheyenne, the post-Sixers, able to come back from behind, come up, they have to win both games today, and they do so as they beat Cheyenne to win the championship. The final score, 7-4, as the post-Sixers and Cheyenne, representing the state of Wyoming, become the first team ever to go and represent the state of Wyoming in the American Legion World Series, which gets started next week in Shelby, North Carolina.
Yeah, what an effort there from the Sixers. They had to do it the hard way, win 2 games, as unfortunately the trainer's talking to Hayden Swain again. Hopefully he's all right, as that big dog pile, that's the one thing you worry about is getting someone injured.
Now they're checking his wrist, so hopefully he'll be okay. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We're back for the celebrations. We'll have the post-game show for you coming up right after this as Cheyenne wins it by the score of 7-4.
Do something good for yourself. Give your home a new look. At Kazin's Furniture in Evanston, their friendly staff will help you make your home a peaceful and beautiful place to be. Comfortable furniture, appliances, artwork, lighting, and accessories work together to create an enjoyable and inviting atmosphere in your home. Make your living and sleeping space a wonderful place to be. With brands like Serta, Ashley, GE, and more, visit Kazin's Furniture at 941 Front Street in Evanston.
Dad, I heard that human eyes can distinguish between 1 to 10 million different colors. Is that true?
That is true. The human eye is amazing. We use our eyes not only to work and learn, but also to simply enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. At Uinta Eye and Vision, we care about each individual's eye health needs. Whether a person is looking for computer glasses, polarized sunglasses to assist in outdoor hobbies, contact lenses, or has general eye health needs, we are here to listen to our patients' thoughts and concerns to help them enjoy their amazing eyes.
Call today to schedule an appointment. 789-3937.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Get a degree or certification, earn your high school GED, get job skills, become CPR certified, or use our free 3D printers and tools. These are just a few of the opportunities available at Uinta BOCES #1. Call 307-789-5742 to learn more.
Well, welcome back here to the Postgame Show. Congratulations to the Cheyenne Post Sixers as they win it today by the final score of 7-4. They win the region, and they're headed off to the American League World Series starting on Thursday in Shelby, North Carolina, as they become the first ever representative from the state of Wyoming. As they continue to get set up for the celebration and the handout of the trophies down in the field, we'll try to see if we can, how much the post-game show we can run through. Time for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap in the game. Final totals for Cheyenne to win it: 7 runs on 8 hits. They did not commit an error in the game. Gillette, 4 runs on 9 hits, and they had 2 errors. The winning pitcher, Brandon Pearson, went 3 1/3 as Grayson Sargent takes the loss and the save to Corey Williams. Now let's take you down to the field for the presentation of the hardware to the champions, the Cheyenne Post Sixers.
Congratulate both teams. Terrific game and a terrific tournament. I also want to congratulate the home community of Gillette for sponsoring a terrific tournament. They have done a great job. And I want to congratulate the fans. You've been great fans. You must have listened to the code because it's been nothing but good all the way around. And I certainly appreciate that. I believe our umpires are here. So we're going to begin by allowing the umpires to pick up their material. And the first one we'll call here is Phil. Phil, if you would, come forward. Well, it appears that we are short an umpire or two, but we'll wait for Phil and the umpires.
Not out of here quick.
Would somebody run over to the ump house and tell them that I'm finding them $5 every minute they don't show up? So.
Apparently the umpires had headed back to their trailer, wanted to get out of their gear, and they're waiting for the umpires to come out and collect their thank yous for them to come out, and their appreciation for their work they did over the last 5 days as well, as long as the players, and they're just not going on until the umpires show up, as they're missing a couple of the umpires. So we're kind of at bay until the umpires come back out here, as they're not wanting to move on until the umpires come back out. As we continue wait for the umpires, we kind of continue on with some of the information. Braden Pearson was the winning pitcher in the game. He went 3 1/3, gave up just a couple of hits, no runs, walked 3, and struck out 3, as he ended up being the winning pitcher in the game. And our Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game, that came in the bottom of the 3rd inning when Nolan Horton was up with a couple of men on base and singled in 2 runs that gave Cheyenne their initial lead in the game as the umpires make their way finally back out of the field. So let's go back down to the field now.
Basically, they receive a certificate, and we're also giving them a signed baseball. It states for their outstanding assistance and dedicated to the American Legion Baseball program as umpire. Gary Delgado. Eldo Mora. Pat Zink. Josh Anwood. Look at you. I must have one more here. Oh yes, Nick Stevens. Nick, being the head umpire, wants to grab hold of the microphone for a little while, and I will concede it to him. He's been a lot long, but I think he has a reason for winning it this time. So Nick, all yours.
First and foremost, congratulations to both teams. It was a great game. It was a great tournament that you all had. First off, I've been here for the 3 years that Gillette's had the tournament. Best place I've been. And the fans, the community, and Steve, as well as the Roughriders and their facilities. Steve, we have a plaque that we'd like to give to you. Greatest hospitality ever, man. Thank you very much. I don't know why you're talking. You're getting one too. This guy's the backbone. He does a lot of work for the teams. He helps us out a lot as well. Thank you very much. Thank you. I have one more. So. We couldn't let Gene go home empty-handed. He's always commented on how much he liked my hard hat that I wore last year for my play games, so he gets the hat. He also needed some water, if everybody remembers. So Gene's gonna get the water. And I heard Dawn dish soap, that works good in the dishwasher.
I can't let that pass without just a brief story. My wife, as most of you know, was hospitalized because of broken pelvis, and I'm not very domesticated. So the first day I figured I better wash dishes, I put Dawn dishwashing in the dishwasher. Proved to be very interesting. Okay, our next person that we're going to give an award here to is Eric, our scorekeeper. I'll talk more about him here in just a little while. And now I'm going to pass the mic over to our local host, who's been nothing but sensational. He's sometimes I swear to God he meets himself coming and going, because he's here and there and everywhere in between. He's been really an asset. So with that, Steve.
All right, I just want to say, thanks to all the fans showing up. I mean,
I've been involved with this program since the early 90s. I've never seen this many people here. And to watch these young men play like they did, battle it out all week long, give them a huge round of applause. And also I know I'm the man out here with the microphone, but there are a ton of people did a lot of work behind the scenes, to all the board members, all the volunteers that make this work, not just for this year, but all 3 years. Everybody's just pitched in and made me proud of what we have and what we have to offer here in Gillette. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for everything you guys did these past 3 years, and just great baseball. Great baseball by both teams. And you know, it makes me proud that Wyoming has the top 2 teams in the region. That's all we have. And we have the first team from Wyoming to go to the World Series.
Thank you, Steve. Now I need to call one other young man or middle-aged man to come up and get his certificate on baseball, and that's our assistant tournament manager, Jeff. Jeff, I can't thank you enough for what you do, and he refuses to take the mic and talk, so I won't. But when he does talk, he speaks thunder. Okay, at this time, we're going to ask that the runner-up team come up and receive their patches, their banner. There's a banner that we give to the runners. And you'll be able to wear a new patch on your sleeves from here on forward. While they're holding that, they might as well pick up their trophy. The second place for finish here in the Northwest Regional. Awesome job, fellas. At this time, I'm going to pass the microphone to our scorekeeper, or scorer. He does a fantastic job up in the press box. Probably you don't see him, but he's on top of everything. And you know, I go up there and talk to him every once in a while. He's watching the weather for me. He's watching something on the tablet. He's watching the pitch count. There isn't a thing he's not watching. I don't know how he does it. But having said that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Eric Oberman.
Thanks, Shane. Our most valuable player from Cheyenne hit .389 for the tournament, 7 of 18 with 6 runs and 6 RBIs. Number 11, Caden Anderson.
Now we'll call the Northwest Region champions to pick up their patches and their banner. Like what already has been said, the first team that's going to represent the Northwest District or Northwest Region from the state of Wyoming. Normally these young men would be on their way to Denver, where they fly out Tuesday morning at 8:30, but they're going home for a brief rest, and they'll bus themselves to the airport. They fly out about 8:30 on flight 2545 Southwest. I think that just about closes it up. I thank everybody for a splendid tournament. Next year we'll be in Billings. So I think the future for the home team is very bright, speaking about Gillette, and you've done an excellent job, represented your community and the region very well. And again, congratulations to the Cheyenne Ball Club as they go forward. We'll be watching you on TV.
So congratulations to the Cheyenne Post Sixers as they pick up their championship trophies and their championship banner, and they get it ready to head off to Shelby, North Carolina, where they'll be playing at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. We have a couple little pieces of business to take care of before we get out of here. First of all, that would be our Pepsi Player of the Game, and I think you have to certainly consider the guy who collected the MVP for the tournament as far as the player of the game, Caden Anderson, who had 2 hits in the game today. He was 2 for 3, scored a couple of times, also drove in a run. He's a heck of a ball player and had a heck of a day.
Yeah, and that's not even taking into account what he does defensively behind the plate. I mean, he's got the gear on. He took one off the hand earlier, I think, in the first game, and, he just kept grinding, he kept battling, and, man, I love seeing catchers get rewarded for things like this because it's so hard to be able to catch a staff, know what everyone throws, know how they throw, know what to go say to them, and then turn around and be able to contribute at the plate. It's such a hard thing to do for a catcher, so congratulations to Caden Anderson.
So we congratulate the Post Sixers once again. And before we get ready to wrap up here, and some final thoughts, as we've had a heck of a 5 days and 15 games that we've done over the 5 days. And Elin Olaf, who's done some play-by-play and done producing and directing for us as well. What are some of your thoughts as we get ready to say goodbye for the last game?
Well, the number one thought is that it stings right now, but what Gillette accomplished here this week is going to be something that they will remember forever. And as the tournament director said, he thinks the future is very bright for that team. Almost all those kids are coming back next year. So that will be a team that will definitely battle to get to Billings. For Aaron and myself, we host the 307 Baseball Podcast. We've become pretty excited about the American Legion baseball scene in Wyoming, to be here in the building, to witness history, to witness not just the first Wyoming team to finally make it to the World Series, but the first Wyoming versus Wyoming regional final. I mean, it's just speechless, and it's definitely something I don't think I'm ever going to forget.
I think this speaks to how much Wyoming baseball is growing and improving, and all of these kids just play ball all the time, and they're getting better, getting much better, because not only are they having success here, Wyoming's also having success in the single-A regional right now as the game continues to grow here, and I think it's great just to see more people from a state that you wouldn't call a baseball power, in the major leagues, but kids getting out and playing the game they love.
The thing that I'm going to come away with, I'm going to come away with the quality of baseball from all 8 of the teams that we saw throughout the last 5 days. The games were close. They were well played. They were incredibly well pitched. And coming from somebody from a pitching background like I have, I was just set aside by the efforts by some of the pitchers that we saw in these games. All the games were very close. Not real. I think there was one kind of semi-blowout throughout the entire tournament, but a great quality of ball we saw over these 15 games.
And before we call it a day and call it a tournament, we have to give a big thank you to Nate Perleyberg of the Gillette Riders. He reached out to us and asked us if we'd be interested to do it. And we've done the Wyoming State tournaments the last few years, and we couldn't say no. We have to give a big thank you to Steve Laxo, who has led the crew here in Gillette and has just rolled out the red carpet. A big thank you to, of course, our sponsor, our presenting sponsor, the Signature Real Estate Group right here in Gillette. Big thank you to our executive producer, Val Cook, our sales manager, Matt Petrie, as well as our sales associates, Julie Burley and Sarah Pay, our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, the rest of the staff at My Local Radio Sports, Dennis Bedwell and Cody Olson. And, I mean, this was a huge undertaking, and it really took a team effort, and we couldn't have done it without any of them. And a big thank you to everybody who tuned in over the last week. It has just been mind-blowing just how many people have shown interest into this tournament and just how much support there is for American Legion baseball out there.
Yeah, and I'm going to go a little personal. I mean, get a little sappy with you chums here, but it's been so much fun. Just not only the baseball, the hanging out, we don't get to see Dan real often because he's in our Idaho office. Me and Elon, I'm shocked we haven't gotten to a fight yet. We've been on the road together for almost 3 weeks, it seems like. But man, it's just been a lot of fun with you guys. The baseball, the after parties, the making fun of each other, the dinner last night with Colton DeBois and our. Am I saying that? DeBias. Sorry, Colton. Colton DeBias over there. The Gillette Riders play-by-play guy, David Settle over there, and just a lot of fun getting into this media world. As this is the official wrap to my rookie year of broadcasting, and man, what a way to go out in the first year.
Yeah, and it was nice to be invited by the staff here in Gillette, and it was nice to be able to come up and do such a great job. And like Elon said, we just want to reach out and say thank you to all the folks back home who logged on and watched these broadcasts. We thank you for doing that. We certainly hope you enjoyed them and certainly hope you appreciated them. And if you do, put in a kind word and for us and to come back wherever it might be next year, Billings, Montana, or wherever it might be. We love bringing you high school age kids, their sporting activities, whether it be in Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, wherever they might be.
And, we got to get a little personal here for myself and Dan because this was a week. It was a long week. It was a fun week, but it was even longer for the people at home. So, of course, I got to give a thank you to my wife, Mindy. She has been super supportive. I was gone for a week for the Single A state tournament. I was gone for a week for this. So a big thank you to her, and I'm sure you got someone you want to thank as well, Dan.
Yeah, my wife, Dawn, back home, of course, she has a business, home business and work, so she's been busy the last week, but certainly it's not any easier on her either having me away. And again, we thank everyone and thank them especially for all that we do.
Well, you guys don't think my cat doesn't get lonely?
All right. Well, Okay.
Well, hi, Dio.
So that's going to wrap it up from here as we get ready to say goodbye. Congratulations again to the Cheyenne Post-Sixers who are headed off to Shelby, North Carolina. They are the first ever representatives from the state of Wyoming who will represent the state at the American Legion World Series that gets underway coming up on Thursday in Shelby, North Carolina. For Aaron. Sorry, I completely drew a blank on your name. For Aaron, for Elon, I'm Deon Hubbard. Thanks for joining us. We thank you all for watching, and congratulations once again to the Post-Sixers for their win. And have a good night from here at Hladky Memorial Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Until next time, good night, everybody.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.